I'm excited. We're gonna play some Blades in the Dark, which is my favorite game. And so, I was gonna go over very briefly what it's all about before jumping into a one-shot. Unless there was anything else you wanted me to go over, Scooter, before we got started and jumped into stuff and things. Alright, well, host real quick, that might help. I'm pretty good at this. I'm literally the best at the internet.
We're all just silently.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, no. We're going to play some Blades in the Dark, which is a heist-based game of scoundrels. It takes place in a dark, mysterious world that has been broken.
Stockton?
A note about the world. The Shattered Islands have wildly different climates due to magical forces left over from the Cataclysm. Water of the Void Sea seems to be comprised of opaque black ink, but it's possible to see constellations of shimmering stars far below the surface. The sun is a dim ember, providing only meager twilight at dawn and dusk, leaving the world in blackness otherwise. This was once a storybook world filled with magic and wonders which were destroyed, and an industrial civilization has been built upon the ruins. Do not expect scientific realism here. We are playing in the city of Duskfall, which is on the island of Akaros. Akaros is a land of dark, petrified forests and rocky hills, a rich coastal cities that get their wealth from Leviathan hunting, and from mining colonies deep inland. The Akarosi are sometimes called Imperials, since the Imperium began here, and they are generally fair-skinned and dark-haired. Leviathans are horrifying creatures that are the size of cities that live in the ocean, have too many eyes, too many tentacles, and maleficent intent. People, brave souls called Leviathan hunters, go out in huge boats, stick spears into them and suck out their blood, which they then bring back to the city and refine into plasma, which they then use to power all of our industry here in Duskfall. So, pretty standard stuff. Other islands include Severos, a large windstepped plain covered in dark shrubs and thorny growth. Outside of the imperial cities that are on the coast, some native Severosi still live in free tribes, scavenging the Deathlands in their ghost-hunting horses. They are generically dark-skinned and dark-haired. Aruvia is another island that is to the south of Akaros. It's the land of black deserts and obsidian mountains and raging volcanoes. Some say that positions of power are openly held by demons in Aruvia, and their people are generally dark-skinned and dark-haired. The Dagger Islands are a small group of tropical archipelago covered in dense jungle growth, now turned dark and twisted from the strange magic of the Cataclysm. Some say that their people live here without lightning barriers. How do they manage that? Native islanders are generally copper-skinned and dark-haired. Skovland is the most recent addition to the Empire as a whole. It is a ragged island of cold mountains and rough tundra. Skovland was the last holdout against the Imperial control. They are generally pale-skinned and fair-haired or red-haired. They were only brought to heel about 20 years ago. My calendar is right. I'd be wrong. Calendar right here. Anyway, in the far off land of Tycheros, disconnected from the Empire. People say that Tycherosi, rudely called strangers, have demon blood in their lineage. Everyone that came from Tycheros, or their parents came from Tycheros, has some kind of strange demonic tell that marks them as other. So if you want to choose your heritage based on any of that, most people are probably going to be Akarosi just because you already live in Duskfall, but any of the other heritages are, of course, open. Everyone has pretty much already made their characters. unless there was any other questions you all had before we got started, we skipped a little bit of the character creation, kind of made it very very streamlined. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Made it very streamlined. Just pick your stats and go for it without delving too deep into the history. Normally, I would ask you guys some important questions about your history, but I'm just going to ask you two. This is for everybody at the table. Have any of you been to jail? Any of your characters been to jail? You've been incarcerated for doing what you do? I know a couple of you picked
I think my character.
criminal backgrounds. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You went to jail, you got out.
Yep, I definitely made some friends in jail and have a lot of contacts still that are out. And then,
Gotcha. Anybody else? No? Just one jailbird?
Used to put people in jail.
I've been close. I'm on the edge, but
You're on the edge?
I've been lucky so far. Never been pinched.
Okay. And finally, have you ever killed anyone? Now, before you answer, let me tell you a very important piece of information about how this world works. I mentioned the cataclysm and how the world had been sundered. I forgot to mention that when that happened, death broke. Wherever souls used to go when someone died, they
got
can't
stocked it.
get there anymore. They cannot reach it. And after about 3 days from the point of someone dying, their spirit rises from their body and becomes a malevolent ghost. 99 times out of 100, your ghost will be malevolent and hungry and go mad within a short period of time. There's an entire faction throughout the entirety of the Empire, but especially within Dustfall, whose job it is to prevent that from happening. They're called the Spirit Wardens. And they have managed to make a ancient and powerful spell across the entire city that anytime someone dies within the city limits, a bell tolls at the Bellwether Crematorium. And that will tell them that they need to go and find a body. And there are Deathseeker crows that are not really crows. They are 3-winged birds that fly in a strange, unsettling pattern throughout the sky that circle in and find that body. Killing someone always brings trouble, always brings heat, and is very rarely done lightly. So, have any of you killed before?
So wait, if they get the person and bring them to the crematorium, does that cause...
So when they find the body before the spirit manifests and take it to the crematorium, where they burn it in Leviathan blood in order to destroy the spirit.
Okay. So, if I had killed somebody, I don't necessarily have a ghost haunting me.
You most likely do not have a ghost haunting you. And there are still rogue spirits that exist. Some people, they can never find the body. Sometimes they are specifically hidden from the spirit wardens. But
I would say that my character has killed, and that's probably the primary thing she gets hired to do.
fair. Okay.
Yeah, I've at least so far only one.
Only one.
It was very traumatic. It was my former boss. I worked in a dogfighting organization until one day I couldn't take it, and I fed him to his own fighting dogs.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a rough way to go. So
That is a rough way to go. You might have a malevolent spirit.
yeah, I can see a bad ghost would come from that for sure.
It's very likely.
I don't know that my character is killed anybody. She's more of a con artist, kind of sneaky.
Reasonable.
No,
Definitely not.
no. He prefers to let others do that.
Yeah, I'd probably have tricked some.
Like me, for instance.
Yes.
That makes why we were such a good team.
He knows that I'm
been
utterly indifferent to
tempting.
human life.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, dang. Oh, snicker snap. Oh, gosh. What was I doing here? There we go.
How do you feel about animal life? Dogs, for instance.
So, this is a good...
I don't know why someone would hire me to kill a dog.
Okay, good point, good point.
That's usually like
That's what I'm
collateral.
trying to do.
Oh, okay.
That's collateral. Brilliant. So, this is a good time to introduce everybody's characters, and then I will tell you where we are and what's going on. So, you can go ahead and start, Michael, since you mentioned the dog thing, and that's pretty integral to your character.
Sure, yeah. My name is Michael. I'm playing the Hound, which is, as the name shows, it's someone who can have a pet, which I definitely opted for. There's sort of a long range, kind of scout ranger, I suppose, as well. My character's name is Bart Barkley, aka Dog, and he was an orphan of the streets, adopted by individual who ran kind of a dog fighting operation, and so they grew up in that. So he, tended to these fighting hounds as a young man. Received lots of dog bites on his features, which gives him a kind of scarred, fearsome appearance. But he developed a great fondness for the animals, and just couldn't stand to be in that horrible business anymore. So, as I mentioned, one day he just had enough, and he threw his master, his boss, into the pit of some ferocious fighting hounds that were supposed to be put down the next day, and it was chewed to pieces. After that, he's gotten out of that business for good. He has one of his prized pooches he took with him named Daisy, and he's been kind of making his living as a thief on the streets, and sort of fell in with this crew of rascals ever since.
Miscreants. Brilliant. Tell me, who is your uptick and who is your downtick as far as your friends?
Oh, right. I went with Casta the Bounty Hunter.
As your friend?
Yeah, as my friend. The uptick.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's someone who comes to me for information. Because I'm kind of plugged into the underworld.
What was the name?
Costa.
Yeah, Costa's my kind of contact. My name is Bart.
That's one of your friends.
And your downward tick. Who's your rival here?
Steiner, who's an assassin.
Steiner the assassin.
Yeah, and I imagine we've just kind of had a few nasty run-ins. Maybe I was hanging out in some places where he was supposed to do some killing, and I do love that.
Mommy.
Yep.
He heard about the cruelty to animals.
Oh, he didn't like it.
Perfect. All right. So that is Michael, and let's go around Kat.
Okay, my name is Kat. Anybody that watches this channel is probably familiar with me by now. I am playing a character named Nadja Klashnikov. Her alias is 60. She has black eyes, chalky white skin, slicked back, short black hair, which she puts way too much product in, and tends to dress in what's teetering on being fetish gear, or just straight up fetish gear. Either way. She was one of the Grey Coats, simply because she wanted to be in a profession that allowed her to kill people, and that seemed like a good one. It was either that or military.
That sounds boring.
Right? She doesn't. She likes the stalking and surveillance aspects too. She also can using Tinker make explosives? Because I was trying to figure out where explosives come in on this.
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Usually, the person that would make explosives would be a leech.
Gotcha.
But you could potentially get explosives.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, we got demolition tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Leeches are the people who would make explosives.
Explosives.
Yeah.
So that's nowadays she gets hired to take people out once she doesn't track people down. She is the one that gets told, this is where the person is, go kill them, make sure nobody sees you.
Gotcha. Brilliant.
She can also steal things.
Well, you might need to do that. Who is your uptick and who is your downtick?
My uptick is Rosalind Kellis, a noble. Or Khalees, I'm not sure which way to pronounce it.
I like Kellis.
Kellis, okay. Rosalind Kellis, who's a noble. My downtick is Darmit, who is a blue coat.
Nice.
Because I figured, well, that fits in the backstory.
Yup.
She especially likes opportunities to break into blue coat places, and if somebody wants a hit done on a blue coat, she's more than happy to do it.
Whoa.
Nice. All right. And then going around. I don't know what's going on. Sarah, how about
All right.
this is a circle, I swear.
Yeah, it's like a Wonder Woman. I'm Dahlia the Grey, and I got that nickname for being super bland, the ability to blend into any suitable environment. I'm a slide, which makes me a subtle manipulator and spy. So I'm really good at I have the ability to tell if someone's lying to me. I'm really sneaky and good at convincing people. I would say I'm kind of like a spy for hire, so I do jobs for people I'm hired to find intel and report back and do sneak into places and stuff like that. And I have a long list of good criminal buddies, including my uptick, which is Baz, a gang leader who I teamed up with in jail and did work for him. And my downtick is Nurix, a prostitute. She's my slighted lover because that's my vice, which is pleasure. And let me see. Oh, I have pale skin, long dark hair. My heritage is Accuracy, thank you. And yeah, I wear generic attire best suited to blend into whatever the environment I'm going to be at.
And your code name's Gray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Dahlia the Grey, but you can call me Grey. Yeah. Gray's better. Yeah.
Gray's better.
Brilliant. One of my things is my character's gonna only refer to people by their code names.
Yes.
Because she doesn't believe in communicating real names.
Right. That's...
I forgot to mention on camera that my character is Taikarosi and my vice is luxury.
Perfect.
I'm Accuracy.
Nice.
My code name's 60,
60.
which is the hexadecimal code for black.
All right, Chris. Let me hear about your spider.
All right, my character is Nathus 4. He was born to... His father was Scovlin. He was a Scovlin gangster, but his mother was from a Koros. His mother took him away when he was a child because she didn't want him to grow up in a gangster environment, away from the Empire, or being still one of those formerly holdout rebels. So she actually got him into a program where he was raised as a blue coat. He was very, very successful, and he was a high-level blue coat, but he had no idea about the level of corruption that was going on.
So
and
much corruption.
Even when the gray coats left, he still didn't believe it, and finally they were forcing him to try to do bad things, and he didn't want to, and they wound up killing his family. And that's when he left, and he decided to devote his life to the other side. In particular, he that's his vice, is he wants to bring down establishment in particular and help poor people. And so he particularly likes if he can rob from the rich and the connected. He hired 60 to kill the members of the Bluecoats who killed his family. That's how he met her. He is a spider. He's a planner. He doesn't use an alias except usually, he never uses an alias with his crew. He just goes by Nate. But he'll use aliases with the outside world, particularly Nar Slabdash.
Nar, let me write that.
The G is mostly silent. Gnar Slabdash. He dresses well, dapper, but not ostentatious, and always a little unkempt. And his up arrow is Celia, an information broker, who helps him get a lot of his information because he likes to plan and stuff. and his arch rival is his former partner in the Blue Coats, Jaren, a Blue Coat archivist.
Well, I didn't do as much.
Not important. All right, Celia.
I'm not sure I'd share that anyway.
Oh yeah, and I didn't say on cam. I don't know if I said on camera that the noble's my character's lover.
No, but I did write that down. So
Okay.
it is now.
So
canon.
Rosalind Kels is my character's lover, who I live with, and Dharma I think was her former sergeant.
Okay. Perfect. So, there are a few key principles in Blades Thin Dark. One of them is, which I think is one of the most important, cutting the action. So now that we've introduced our crew, let me tell you a little bit about the situation, and then I'll jump into the action. So, just a briefest overview of the briefest overview. You are a crew of thieves caught up in a perilous and possibly profitable situation in the Crow's Foot district. That's why I gave you both the Crow's Foot. It's a double-sided sheet of paper that has a zoom-in map of Crow's Foot and also a nice little a picture of what housing in Crow's Foot might look like. Rorik, the ward boss, who ran the criminal operations in Crow's Foot, has been killed. People say it was his second-in-command, Lissa, that did it. She now controls Rorik and oppressive gang of cutthroats who call themselves the Crows. If she can she establish her dominance in the city the way that Rorik did? It's hard to tell. This murder only happened very recently, and the balance of power is still up in the air. When Rorik died, the peace that he had brokered between the two enemy gangs fell apart. The Lamp Blacks and the Red Sashes have once again exploded into an open war on the streets.
Lamp Blacks and the Red Sashes?
Lamp Blacks and Red Sashes. All three of these gangs are much higher tier than you guys. That is, if you guys go up against them, will be a big factor. But they are at open war, which of the three major gangs in this area, two of them are at open war with each other, and the third recently lost their leader. So this is the perfect opportunity for a group of young upstarts like you guys to grab a foothold and make a name for yourself. Your crew of thieves is poised to profit from all of this, or be swept up in the chaos and destroyed. Who will you side with? You have loyalties and friendships in the mix, or are you a detached outsider coldly exploiting the situation? We're gonna find out. The thing is that one of these bosses, Bazo Baz, the leader of the Lamp Blacks, is good friends with our Slide, Gray.
Whoa.
So now that you have your background as far as what's been going on in the world at large, you find yourself, the four of you, are in the cramped office of the Lamp Blacks leader, Bazo Baz, overlooking the coal warehouse floor below. The entirety of the Lamp Blacks are based out of a big coal warehouse. At one point in time, they used to be the lamplighters of the city. The entire city has moved to magical gas in order to power all of their lights, and they don't really need the lamplighters to light them every day. So they have turned to crime. So several of Bazo's bravos hang about, sizing you up. It's a big, huge office floor, office above this warehouse. And at one side is Bazo at his desk, looking fairly impressive, and the four of you. And then around you are 3 or 4 tough-looking thugs. They're not threatening in any way, but they're there to back up Bazo if necessary. Bazo wants your answer. Will you be with them or against them? He looks you all in the eye. What do you say? You can decide with the Lamp Blacks. So here's some options, just so you know. This can go any way you all want it to. If you want to do a flashback to when you took your friend aside and were like, hey, we're going to betray my good friend Bazo Boz. Or when you took them all aside and said, I don't care what you think, Bazo is my friend, we're going to side with him. So you can go along with him, you can side with the Lampblacks, you can just pretend to and say, of course we'll side with you, and then go do your own thing. Or you can tell him to fuck off. Or maybe you were actually sent here to kill him all along. And we'll do that instead. So tell me, Bazo, sitting behind his desk, and he just finishes putting like a piece of like candied orange peel, which is ridiculously expensive and lavish, into his mouth, and he's chewing on it. So, what's it gonna be, you guys? You with us?
Oh,
That's in the flashback.
yeah, it's on you. You're the one who knows if you want to.
Come on, Dahlia.
We previously had a conversation at some point, but do you guys want to cut to that, or do you want me to just? I think my character would probably be loyal to him,
Mm-hmm.
but.
Yeah, if you all want to do something other than be loyal to him,
Yeah.
you can be like, all right, let's flash back to that. Otherwise,
Let's flash back
Okay.
to an idea that I have, which would pit all three gangs against each other, and whatever left would your friend could control a new gang that emerged from all three.
So you want to
But maybe we-
you want to Yojimbo it?
Yeah. Or maybe we'd be dishonest in our intentions.
No,
We say,
we
oh.
tell them
Oh, okay.
why stop with just the Lampblacks.
Okay.
Wait.
That he's thinking too small.
Oh,
well, he is the Lampblack. You
No,
mean?
he's thinking too small.
You're saying let's get the Lampblacks to absorb the crows and the red sashes.
Yeah, and if that happens, it might happen. But if he were to die along the way, then and we
Wasn't
wound
it
up
exactly-
controlling.
Right.
But
It's a
But
fistful
that's
of dollars.
So isn't that kind of what he's asking us to do? Is like join him so that he can grow and fight against.
Well, he
that's
is fighting against the red sashes.
right, we need to convince him that in order to best help him, we need to remain independent. Because if we overtly side with him, then people will know that we're helping him.
100%. My character would definitely want to be like inconspicuously helping. So.
And you're saying like after we get his the payment, we head over to the red sashes and we're like, hey,
We'll help you, but
we'll help you, but
yeah,
you got to pay a lot for us to betray, and we just keep on.
yeah, we're gonna play them off each other.
Yeah, it's the
Bidding
classic.
war.
It worked great in Fistful of Dollars. Let's do it.
That's gonna be a real.
as you know, Nate, I am just a knife. You are the hand. What you decide, I decide.
Well, hopefully they'll kill each other, so we'll reap the spoils, and then you can kill whoever you want.
Good.
Do you guys see any benefit of also looking into the crows? Like it seems like.
Oh
the
no, we're gonna go to
leadership
the
and-
crows
yeah.
too. We're gonna go to
Three-way.
Lissa
Yeah.
and tell her the same thing. We'll help her, but she can't tell anybody.
Because they're in disarray right now, I feel like they'd be like vulnerable. All right, I like this plan.
We have to find out if Lissa's connected to either of the other gangs, though. Like if she made that move in connection with either of them.
We can ask that of Lampblacks or what's his face.
Yeah, well, we might have to ask the street too.
All right.
Brilliant. So cut back to the present. What do you say to him?
Absolutely.
Bazo,
Yeah.
we want to help you,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
thinking too small. You don't need to be the head of the Lamplex. You need to be the head of the new gang that comes out of this three-way struggle. But the best
Three-way
way for
struggle?
what?
Three-way
The
struggle?
crows, you, and the
Crows are
Sashes.
nothing.
Well,
Without Roar get their head there. Bullshit.
you're right. You're probably right. But the best way we can help you is if people don't know that we're helping you.
What are you saying here?
We do it quietly. That way they don't know to go after us because they don't know that we're helping you.
That sounds like a pretty sly thing to be doing. I'm not sure that I'm on board with this.
We go way back. Trust me, we can go and infiltrate them, convince them to pin each other or against each other.
Can I try to command?
If you want to. I was gonna say this is a good time for a roll. I feel like Dahlia is trying to sway or even consort here.
Yeah, I think consort.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Because it is consort with connections from your heritage background. So.
And command, obedience with force of intimidate or threat.
Yeah.
Force of personality.
You're pretty. Your personality has been pretty laid back.
Yeah, I don't know if like you want to threaten like Don Corleone.
No, I'm
I
trying
like
to
consort
charm
with
him.
them.
Charming is more
Sway.
under sway.
Yeah.
What if I
It's
consort
okay,
with-
there'll be
'cause
plenty
he's
of
my old
moves.
connection.
Oh, you know what though?
Yeah,
I can
probably.
assist her.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
I can assist her.
You
Yes.
absolutely can.
So, and I'm so sorry for the gameplay. I have
Yes.
a +2, I think, for that. So then what do we...
So you're gonna roll 2 dice,
Okay.
but your good friend Nate is going to help you out, and he is going to take 2. You're going to take 1 stress, and hand her another die.
It says I do it without paying stress.
Oh, right. So you as your special spider ability can do that without taking stress. So explain how because this is the flashback one, right?
Right.
So flashback, because if you right now you've been helping her in the moment. If you want to use your foresight,
Right.
tell us how you prepared for this.
Okay, so when he asks, this is the flashback.
Yeah.
When he asks, "Are you loyal?" Absolutely. Tell him how far back you go. Mention the few times where you had his back, right? And convince him that everybody already knows and expects you to be siding with him. So if we do it quietly, it'll be more of a surprise to the enemies. If they don't know, they'll be expecting you to come out. But if you don't say it and it isn't known, then they'll be wondering what's going on. And we'll have more advantage of a surprise. So let him know that. And I'll butter you up too.
Perfect. So with that, you get 1 more die. So you're gonna roll a total of 3 dice, and then you're gonna tell me what the highest one you rolled is.
6.
Perfect. You do it without. There's no consequence. You just succeed completely. He's like, "Yeah, you're right, Dahlia. We go way back. If you think this is how it needs to be, this is how it needs to be. But if any of y'all betray me,
They're good people.
this is coming down on you, Dahlia. It's riding on your reputation. You hear me? Alright, well, I'm gonna kick you out, but it's just for show, right? Boys, be gentle." And then the thugs like come and like manhandle you out the door. So it looks like you've been kicked out for non-compliance.
Can I do another like flashback?
I love flashbacks.
Okay. I want to make sure that before the meeting that we let information go to both the Crows and the Red Sashes that we were going to have a meeting with the Lampblacks, so they have somebody see us getting kicked out.
Oh yeah,
and being
that's
manhandled.
That's a 0 cost flashback.
Good.
You can definitely do that.
So they think we're kicked out.
So when I say 0 cost flashback, that's one part of the mechanism that I didn't fully explain. When you do a flashback, if it makes sense for the narration of what you're doing, then it just happens. If we look at that and go, could you really have prepared for this? Then you're going to take stress to have done it anyway.
Okay.
So when you get into that incredibly weird situation and then you're like, but you see, I prepared to be hogtied upside down in a drum full of pickles. Specifically pickles, because... And then I'll be like, yes,
Text her the link.
but...
Oh, did this?
You'll have to take some stress to be that much of a badass. Yeah, absolutely, without any trouble whatsoever, you know that there are runners that, like, street urchins that saw you guys get kicked out, and they run in opposite directions to go and tell.
Did we get the
There.
name of those 3 to 4 tough thugs? In case we want to arrange for something to happen to one of them later.
If you'd really like,
Yes.
sure.
Who's
They-
specifically the one that manhandled me?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, if one of them wound up with a red sash tied around his neck, you know.
Oh, when we start this gang war?
Oh,
Thank you.
Gotcha. Bazo's 3 thugs are Quest, Clave, and Cowl.
And who manhandled 6-0?
That would be Clave.
Oh boy, poor Clay. All right. Well, now that we've now that we did our job with the lamp blacks, do you want to visit the crows or the red sashes next and sell our services
I said red sashes.
once
'cause
more?
Red Sashes?
That's true. They're the
they're
they're the
ones
biggest
that are
rival.
direct.
Yeah.
All right. So,
So-
where'd the red sashes hide out?
Okay. The Red Sashes hideout is actually pretty easy to spot on your map there. You see,
Red Sash Sword Academy.
yep, it is right there on the map. It is a fairly large area. The Red Sash Sword Academy. The Red Sashes are, I don't want to say posing as, but they, in addition to being mastermind criminals, they also have a master sword school where they teach the martial art of the sword and sash style of fighting. All of the red sashes are very good at this, and they all wear a weighted. The red sash that they wear is actually weighted on each end and is a weapon. So even when they are not out with their swords, they have their sashes, and they are dangerous. And most of them are lesser nobles from Aruvia that are here either because they are young and rich and bored, or because they were sent here to get training in the Empire and got bored. And mostly bored nobles is what I'm trying to say.
We'll fit in perfectly.
I will. That's like my whole shtick is bored noble.
So maybe you're gonna be the one talking here. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'll leave Daisy, my big dog. She's tied up outside. So.
Okay, you're not gonna bring the big nasty dog inside.
Yeah, I think not.
Okay, that's reasonable. So yeah, as you're easily able to score a meeting with Malera. Malera is the leader of the Red Sashes. She is probably 50, but she's in very good shape. She's got like steel gray hair, but all muscle. Of course, as you said, the urchins saw you guys getting kicked out of the lamp blacks. So after a very short amount of time, a young noble with a red sash finds their way to you and tells you that it's time for your meeting with Malera.
Very good. I like your style.
Yeah, and I think he gives you like kind of a look up and down and like a half smile and like just turns on heel and expects you guys to follow him.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Brilliant. So you're brought across the city to the martial arts school, and you're brought through, and of course there's the montage as you're walking through the school of the young Aruvian children going through their kata in like a big open field area. Then you're brought, there's like a huge fountain that actually has clear water flowing, which is a ridiculous extravagance. And then you're brought further in to where there is a very nicely appointed room with drapes and a large desk. It's a much smaller room than Bazo's office is, but it feels more comfortable, whereas his office was very utilitarian and largely empty. Her space is much cozier. It has tapestries, it has very comfortable chairs. The desk is rounded, which makes it feel more approachable, that sort of thing. And she's sitting behind the desk as you are led in, and she does not bother standing, and she says, "Good. I'm glad that you have decided to come."
Well,
Yes.
I'm glad we could get out of Bazo's office. Oh, you could give him a lesson on decor.
A
Yes.
flatterer, I see. Brilliant.
Are these tapestries pre-cataclysm?
She nods. Good eye. Very rare. I like you.
I also like you. I didn't much care for the sartorial stylings of the lamp blacks.
Yeah, that place was a dump. This place is much better.
I've heard it described as such, yes.
So, I hear you're in the market for a bunch of troublemaking knock-em-downs.
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
Mind yourself, hound.
That is a little bit more crass than I might have put it, but yes.
He might be uncouth in manner, but he is adept, more than adept, at tracking down his prey.
Very true.
Well, then I may have a job for you yet. I was hoping that you could steal something for me, something that belongs to Bazo.
Well, I do enjoy a challenge. What are you looking to have stolen?
Well, it's a small thing, but it's a bit of... Well, it's not actually small, it's money. Money.
For a minute, I thought you might be talking about something else.
I have no need of such things. I know where Bazo keeps his war chest. He thinks it's a secret, but I cannot get close. Well, you are not on friendly terms with him. You can at least go places where my people are not welcome.
So, where's it being kept?
Wouldn't you like to know?
If you need us to get it for you, we'll need
Yeah,
to
we
have
kind of
it.
gotta know.
I need you to agree to get it for me before I provide the details.
What's
Well, I
insurance?
think if we agree to do this, you also agree that it would, for us to go to those places that you can't go, it would be best to agree that nobody knows that we're working for you.
Yes. That is a great idea. Brilliant, actually. Plausible deniability. Of course. Well, in that case, should be fairly straightforward. You agree then?
Absolutely.
Yes, of course.
Are you guys lying?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no. I thought the idea was we're gonna lie to all of them.
No, we're not
I'm
lying
lying.
that wewe'll be happy to steal the war chest.
No, yeah.
Absolutely, we will steal the
Whether
war
or not
chest.
we're going to give it to her is what
Yeah.
I would not be.
Okay.
Can I detect whether or not she is lying to us?
She's not lying. She
Okay.
does know where it is. And it is somewhere that her people cannot get to. Or at least not easily.
Did she? I'm so sorry. Did she already give us some sort of compensation? Like, are we just doing this for free, or?
Not yet.
Okay.
She has not mentioned.
Because that's something that
Yeah,
I
we gotta
think
agree.
if we were really in wanting to help her, I think that we'd need some sort of
Oh yeah, we gotta get paid.
yeah.
Yeah, you wanna bring that up?
Yes. So so I'm so sorry, Becky. So I think that we can certainly help you, and I think we all, between the four of us, have the tools and resources to infiltrate and under the radar get this war chest. But I mean, there has to be something in it for us.
Well, that's frightfully bourgeois.
I mean, I'm a realist.
Of course. Well, I can't expect you to do this for free, and I'm sure your lives are too cheap for that to be the price. So, if you return to me even half of what is within their hold, we shall call it even.
Sounds like a good deal.
Can I detect whether she's telling me the truth there too?
No, she thinks that's a pretty good deal.
So,
No, actually, that's
what are we
interesting.
talking about in this war chest? Is it mostly coin, gems? In case we need to know how heavy stash we're dealing with.
Well, it's certainly not all slugs and eels, but that being the names of the types of different denominations of
figured.
currency, there are rumored to be some gems, but I would expect most of it to be in bonds and so forth.
So right.
Titles, land, deeds.
Anything in particular out of this you need?
There's no piece of land they own that I would particularly need. In fact, if that would be what you keep, I would not be disappointed.
Is there something in particular that you are looking for in the war, in these bonds and titles?
So it's getting it.
A blow to Boss Bon.
If you've got no war chest, you can't fight the red sashes, and soon the city will be flowing with red and nice decor.
I'm glad you all can appreciate the effort that we put in here.
So, where's the war chest being held?
Well, since you agree, I will tell you it is in Tangletown.
Ooh.
Tangletown, if you look on your maps, is one of the points of interest. A note on your Crowsfoot map. Number 2. Hundreds of years ago, one of the massive Leviathan hunter ships was partially sunk into the river. Since then, it has collected an attendant flotilla of tiny watercraft, all lashed together and floating into a neighborhood. Tangletown is considered to be neutral ground among the gangs of Crowsfoot, and no violence is allowed there. So basically, when she tells you this, out of character, the kind of nuance of it is that Bozo is pulling kind of a dick move by putting his safe stuff into neutral territory. And while they know it's there, the Red Sashes can't officially go and get it. And so when she tells you this, you're kind of like, ooh, if we go do that, we're a new up-and-coming gang, and we're kind of breaking the peace.
Question. When they say no violence is allowed there, does that actually hold true, or does violence happen but people cover it up?
Gang-related violence does not happen there.
Okay.
If it does, their bodies are never found.
Do we know who keeps the peace then? Who's the authority that enforces this?
It's kind of like everybody and nobody.
Interesting.
It's kind of the honor system, but
Could be the citizens.
it could be it's kind of the citizens.
Is there non-violent, is there theft and stuff like that? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just but
But gang-related activity does not really happen
Right.
there, and
It's a nice place to raise
part of it is the honor system, and part of it is the populace, the citizens that live there. They're a little bit of a tight-knit community because they live out on the water and they have total control of who comes and goes. So, what she's telling you essentially is that it won't be like dangerous, like someone is gonna murder you, but it might be dangerous as in if you pull this off and people find out, it might blackball you for the rest of like all of the gangs for spreading that.
So it needs to not be traceable back to us.
So yeah, basically.
Or make it traceable to another
Guess
gang.
who has a disguise kit?
Do you have any
that's
more
not right.
specific other than Tangletown? The last time I was in Tangletown, quite a few areas.
Yes. It is at the bottom of the Leviathan ship.
Oh.
Under the water.
Alright, I want to do a flashback, but I know this one might cost me some stress points.
Let's find out.
I want to ask my compatriots here if anybody could, while we're meeting at some point with Malera or in the facility, steal one or two red sashes for use later. Or as we say, nick a red sash for planting on somebody later.
For saying that you want to have somebody do that, that's free.
Yeah.
To actually go ahead and do it, somebody's gonna need to make a roll.
Do you think that's a
Yeah.
prowl?
Yeah.
No, I know
it'd be-
that.
Yeah, it'd be
I didn't know
Is
if
it
I
a
was...
Because
prowl
I've got
or is it
prowl.
a finesse?
Oh yeah.
Since you've all like actually been here in the meeting, you know, saying that somebody like sneaks out and does it would be a little bit awkward, but
I was
On the
just
way
thinking
out?
when we leave, like
Yeah.
we're walking through the area, maybe we create a
I've
distraction or
already
something.
agreed, but
just kind of pop
On
up
the-
their closet and swipe a few,
Mm-hmm.
their coat room.
because I think it's reasonable to say that since we're pitting everybody against each other, we would want to have the
that
tools.
sounds like a reasonable plan to have
I
made.
can
I'm not
sneak
gonna
back into their headquarters anytime I feel like it.
That sounds really dangerous. I'm just
Wow.
thinking while we're
But on
here,
the way out, or
on the way out, we create a distraction, like maybe like dog challenges one of their warriors to like a fight or something.
Sounds like a
While
plan.
everybody's watching,
'Cause
you
we
sneak
already
off
have
and nick one of the things.
Sure.
and then
Yeah, well, I mean,
So
I
do you wanna
don't
make-
mind a good fight.
I can do that, but I mean, I can also turn myself invisible for minutes on end if I feel like.
Well, that's very helpful.
But you want to
Well,
like
that'd
burn
be-
that now, or we could just have an easy distraction.
Yeah, that's up to you guys. If you wanted to do the easy distraction, or if you were just
Yeah,
What
like
the
is-
invisible
casing
thing.
we
the
would have
joint
talked
so that
about
when
this
you
in
come
the
back
flashback,
invisible
but
later.
what is your plan?
Yeah.
I would be casing the joint
Oh.
now, trying
Right,
to figure
right.
out
I want to
where they store the
create a
stashes.
three-way blame game.
Oh, so like you want to
Yeah.
go.
I'll get back to it.
I also,
Yeah.
my other plan is that
Yeah,
I
the
want
pros and cons
Vazo
somehow.
to get suspicious of that somebody he is a traitor. So if we have a red sash to plant on one of his guys, and that way he might hire us to do extra security around his war chest.
And if we want to,
Oh,
Yeah. So if he
Ah.
can't trust his own guys, he'll put us in charge.
I like it. I like it.
But I also realized we have a problem. Bazo never gave us a specific assignment,
No, he didn't.
which is
We just
troublesome.
should hire him. Well, we
Right,
can go
that's
back.
troublesome to me.
Okay.
First
so-
step though, we gotta
he's
get that sash.
You've agreed to work for him.
Yeah.
He's just
We're
he's
on
gonna come and get you later.
Right. I
but
want to get
he-
an assignment though, because then we can
Maybe
start
that's-
plotting out our little web here.
Yeah, we gotta
If
sell
you-
sell that info.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if spotting where they store the red sashes as a survey or a study. I have survey, but I don't really have study.
It's
Yeah.
in this particular case, I would say that it's survey because it's something that you're kind of doing on the fly as you're going
Okay.
through. So if you want to spot where those are at, we can potentially make a roll on that.
Okay.
So the question is, do you guys want to do the set up a distraction and then have 6-0
You know that 6-0 would have a lot more confidence in just sneaking back into the place than
If that's what you would prefer to do, I will defer to your expertise.
Could be like going alone.
Going alone, though, that sounds dangerous.
I
Going
don't like
alone
it.
is far safer for me than being with you.
Wow. Cool. All right. It's your funeral. We'll follow
Brilliant.
your plan. Yeah.
Okay, so then you can, we will do a flashback to you having surveyed the place when you actually go and steal it.
Okay.
But we'll just say that you surveyed it, but how well you did will come up in the moment. So,
Ideally, I'd like 2.
Oh yeah.
2 sessions.
Maybe we can plant them on those goons who manhandled us.
Well, I want to plant 1 on somebody so that Bazo thinks that he has a traitor, and I want to eventually use 1 to strangle a member of the Crows, probably.
Oh
This
dang.
is our flashback where we're all
Yeah.
just talking to each other, right?
yeah. No, you guys are doing this right here in front of
Uh,
Lara, right?
Well, I think it's be after we left.
I
Like,
think
no.
there's another flashback that just involves me and Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, we just need to murder some people.
when you set up this this elaborate web of betrayal.
Yes.
Perfect.
But it's just me and Nate.
Okay, so so I think that this scene here with Malera is wrapped up. You've agreed to steal this war chest, so we're gonna cut over to, I think the next step on your plan is to talk to Alyssa.
Yeah.
Did you want? So is this the same day, or is we'll get to stealing the red sashes when we need to use the red sashes. We'll
Okay.
do the flashback to steal them.
Okay.
So next, Alyssa, does she come to you, or do you go to her? How does that meeting take place?
Well, do any of us have a connection to her? If not, I can try to use, arrange it, find it through Celia how I might contact her.
Well, one way or another,
What
you guys are
director?
able to get in contact with her. It's just a question of do you want her to have sent for you, similar to how the red sash is sent for you, or do you want to be the ones to seek her out?
I think we would seek her out because I think they're kind of.
We'd seek her out because of their current situation. They might be looking for additional help.
Okay.
So there's some point where I would have wanted just to speak to
Okay.
you alone.
All right, let's. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or count, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's so confusing.
Are we honestly thinking about turning the entirety of Crowfoot over to Bazo Boz?
No, not necessarily. But he has to think that.
Yes. I just need to know, in the end, we're talking about taking this over for ourselves entirely, yes?
Yeah, but we might need somebody to run it for us. And right now, we can decide among these 3 who's the most competent and reasonable. And if we give it to them, they might be grateful and run it for us.
Well, I understand that Gray has a personal attachment to Bazo Boz, but I personally find him revolting.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
think he can be trusted.
probably not anybody who picks their teeth with orange rind.
Yes,
Those
exactly.
explains.
But as I said, we can see who's the most reasonable and the most capable.
I mean, I do like the red sashes and their new money nobility sort of ways. I am curious what the scrappy people in the Crows might be up to.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's none of these. Maybe none of these leaders is good. Maybe it's somebody else who we meet along the way who would be good,
Yes.
right? Because it would be a full-time job for us to run it, but if we had somebody who was running it day to day,
I mean, we always want a different face to the operation than our own.
that's right. Exactly. Agreed.
All I know is the red sashes also run drugs, which is quite a profitable business.
Well, to give the people what they want. Which is more than I can say for the Empire. The Imperialists. What do they go by? It's called the Empire.
The Imperials, yeah. I mean, the Empire is run by the immortal emperor who has lived since the Cataclysm 300 years ago.
Okay.
may or may not have been responsible for the cataclysm, but that's a slanderous lie that if you're seen spreading that rumor for some reason you wind up dead. It's weird.
Okay.
I will say this. If at any point during the plan killing Bozo Boz is on the table, I'll be more than happy to do it for you.
Okay. Great. I'm hoping to get them to kill each other.
No, as long as it looks like they kill each other, that's what's important.
Exactly.
Brilliant. So, yeah, you guys make your way to a meeting that you've arranged with Lissa. Lissa is, she's a fairly cold person. Where's my quick sheet notes here? She is a cold, calculating noble. She's younger than Malera, but probably still pushing 40. She's very ruthless. And when you get in the same room with her, there's no doubt in any of your minds that she could have killed her former leader. She, of course, would never admit to that, but you get the feeling that she would have no problem murdering someone in cold blood, even someone that she had been friends with for years.
How did he die?
No one knows.
Was his body found, or is his spirit roaming around?
No.
Uh-oh.
His body fell into the canal, and rumors are that his vengeful ghost roams the city. Of course, he seems to be from the rumors. He seems to be a fairly powerful ghost, and he has not yet gone insane.
What's his name?
Rorik. He's been dead for about a month and a half, about 6 weeks. And people have seen him around. Reports there are people in the shadows that say they've seen his ghost. That the reason why rumors started spreading that Lissa had killed him was because his ghost was telling that to people. That no one had suspected her until the first sighting of his ghost. And then rumors started flying that she was responsible for his death. And it's... Not everyone believes that his ghost is around. Not everyone believes that that's really his ghost. Yada, yada, yada. Not everyone believes a ghost because it's probably crazy. So there's definitely some doubt in people's minds that she was the murderer. Some people are like, well, they didn't really see his ghost. They're just making that up to pin the blame on her. But enough people believe it that it's a bit of a problem for her as far as keeping control of her gang. You know that her second in command is named Belden.
Belden?
Belden. And
Mr. Belden?
you also know that he was loyal to Rorik first. And so his loyalty to Lissa might be tested if it could be proved that she was in fact responsible for his murder. Yeah, so there's that.
All right, let's go
cool.
pledge our loyalty.
Awesome. So, yeah, you guys are...
Where do they hang out?
They are in the center of
Crow's Nest.
Crow's Nest?
in the crow's nest, exactly.
That's right.
So the crows are the chief gang, and
Yes.
the lamp blacks and the red sashes are both.
They are the red slashes and the lamp blacks are fighting with each other over some kind of slight between their two leaders. It's something that's been going on for decades, and Rorik had said, "You two stop fighting in my city," and they had respected his leadership. But then when he was
now
dead,
he's dead.
So
It
the
all fell apart.
hierarchy between crows, lamp blocks, and red sashes, I kind of thought the crows were up down here, but it's the other way.
so the crows were up here
Oh, but since
with the
Rorik's
lamp
on-
blacks and the red sashes down here.
Okay.
Somebody killed Rorik, and now everything is falling apart, and they're all kind of on equal footing. The crows are not like below them; they're more equal. They would have been above them, but their gang is in turmoil right now, and have been for the last month and a half. So, right, yeah, and it is like this tower as you're brought into this tower. It's like a fortress. The bricks are old but sturdy, and you can see runes etched into them that glow faintly with etheric light. Definitely magical.
Quick flashback before this meeting.
Yeah.
I have an idea for a modified plan.
Modified plan, sure.
All right. We get Bazo to think the crows and the red sashes are teaming up. We get Malera to think the crows and the lamp blacks are teaming up. And you get Lissa to think that the red sashes and the lamp blacks are teaming up. That they, now that they've gone back to fighting, they realized how good it was when they weren't fighting. So they want to team up and take out the crows. Now, once we get them all fighting, somebody can step in and say, look, you're all fighting, you're not making any money. You need somebody to act as a neutral party to
make some
sure
money?
you don't
Middleman, yeah.
to act as a commission. So
Oh, okay.
out of game, I'm thinking of like in the mafia, they had the commission where they said, okay, you guys get this territory, and we'll take a little management fee.
You're gonna like organize the Atlantic City like
so
conference.
that means we need to get Bazo to think he can't trust his guys because the red sashes and the crows are working together. We get his loot. We make Malera think that we also kill one of his and frame the crows.
As an idea, why don't we give at least a quarter of our loot to the crows?
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Right?
To rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it look like to frame them.
Right. And then I'm not sure how we get Lissa to think that the red sashes and the lamp blacks are working together, but we'll have to cross that bridge.
Figure that out. Hey,
Yeah.
we got a good.
We got a
Well,
good start.
actually, you could be. I mean, does Lissa know Dahlia? Because you could be our like lamp black, you know.
I don't think so. My gang leader, but I think it was like under the radar.
Does the lamp-
accomplice?
Do
is
the lamp
Bazo.
blacks
Yeah,
have
just have her
like a
pretend to be a
calling
lamp black.
card? Like the red sashes have their red sashes.
Lump of coal.
They just all look kind of dirty because most of them live in this coal factory. There's just like this coal warehouse.
Peaky Blinders.
There's this huge
Yeah.
like store of coal that nobody needs.
So if somebody were
Because-
found with coal stuffed in their mouth, they'd probably think it was the lamp blacks.
They very well might.
Well, that's
think
good for murder
lamp blacks,
purposes.
yeah.
For disguise purposes, look, I'm dirty. We
I
get a
got
red.
size kit.
We put a red sash on her. We'll be like, she's a red sash. I'm a lamp black. Guess
Yeah.
what? We're teaming up.
Take out a crow.
We'll just arm in arm and skip down the
Yeah.
And take out a crow.
Just take out a crow. Just murder the crow.
Scare the
All
crow.
right, sorry.
I definitely want to talk to Lissa about I don't know, this is in our flashback meeting, but because I have a really good way of reading people if they're being honest. So I just
Okay.
want to find out if she really did kill him or not.
And what Belgian's deal is, maybe he's fooling
And
around
then
with Lissa.
we can splinter them
Yeah.
against each other. If we just want to like.
Okay. That is.
First of all, let's agree to work for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you come in, and as I said, the stone is very old. You can definitely tell it's pre-cataclysm, and there are strange runes that are carved into this stone that seem to twist and move below when you look at them, but not actually. It's just that weird kind of optical illusion of just the way they twist that make it look like they're moving, except maybe they are moving. None of you are a whisper, so it's really hard to tell. It's disquieting, let's say that. So you make your way inside, and Lissa meets you like in this grand foyer, and says, well, it is I won't say a surprise, but I was not expecting you. Please, follow me. And she leads the way up a spiral staircase that goes around the tower, up to the 3rd story, where it's like a huge, the entire level of this tower is like a huge library. It's just got walls of books, and it smells like old books. If any of you are fascinated by the pre-cataclysm, you're pretty sure these are pre-cataclysm books. These are old books. She there's like a living room type area set up in the center with like a variety of couches and armchairs and like a little table, and she speaks quietly to one of her lackeys, and soon like a tea cart with a full tea service is brought in, and she gestures for you all to take seats at the different couches and such, and says, I have heard of you all making a name for yourself here in Crowsfoot. It's about time that you came to see me.
Just about.
Well, if you would like to operate out of this area, I expect 1 coin per operation, and I'll stay out of your hair.
Alright, again, what does that mean?
So a coin is an abstraction of money. Most things that you would need, like a meal or whatever, cost less than a coin. A coin is like $3,000 to $4,000. Like it's a chunk. A coin will buy you the services of a doctor. There's no such thing as insurance. A coin will buy you, it's a massive expenditure of money. On a typical score, if you look, I think that's on that page, your typical payout is like 4 coin. That's like a decent haul. That's like each one of you get a coin. Which, is pretty good. But as far as a fee, I mean, you can go for larger and larger scores, which would then result in, better payout for each of you. But basically, she's telling you, a 6 coin is a standard score, decent loot. 2 coins is a minor job, maybe several full purses. 4 coin is a small job, like a strong box. 6 coin is a standard score, decent loot. 6 coin is a big score, some serious loot. That's 2 coins for each of you. 10 coin is a major score, impressive loot. So she says, basically she's telling you guys that to operate in her territory, that she is the ward boss of this whole area. And that she basically expected you guys to come here and be like, So we want to be a gang, and we won't mess with your gang. Here's some money.
And tribute.
As tribute.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Just
not expecting this to have anything to do with the Lampblacks or Red Sashes whatsoever. She's just thinking that you're coming to pay your dues, as she believes is owed to her.
But our plan was to go and
Yeah.
like offer services to her, right?
Right, but that's not what she's expecting.
No, I was
That's-
just making sure it was correct in my plan.
You have the plan correct. She does not. So she's had tea poured for all of you. There's like small little finger cakes, and she says, "Is that agreeable?"
Well, it's a very generous offer. And under normal circumstances, I would say it's exceedingly generous kind of you. But as you know, things are not normal right now. There's a lot of talk on the street that the Red Sashes and the Lampblacks, they're missing the days where they weren't fighting each other under your predecessor. They're blaming you for that.
Terrible. Are you suggesting that they may stop their fighting then?
Right, and if they do, who are they going to turn against? It's not going to be me and my associates here.
I do not like that implication.
Well, I wouldn't like it either. By the way, this is all very delicious.
Yeah, I crunch loudly on one of those. It's like crumbs are going to get in my beard. It's pretty messy.
We actually came here today to offer a different kind of arrangement, where we might be some special help against preventing that situation that you don't like from happening.
Outside intermediary kind of.
So you're saying you want to be a go-between?
Well, go-between or special support in case things turn ugly. Whatever works best. Keep an eye on them.
I suppose that could be an asset, certainly.
What if we as a show of good faith, brought you something of value from one of them?
You seem like a competent bunch. I like this. I like this
Competence is a
plan a lot.
faculty.
That's us.
She laughs a little bit and says, "Was there something specific you had in mind?"
Pardon me. I've noticed you have several pretty cataclysmic books here. Do you mind if I peruse them while you negotiate your deals? The talk of money is of no interest to me.
They are very delicate. You may look but do not touch.
Well, I cannot tell much of a book from its spine.
There are several open on the table over there. If you're careful, you may look through them.
Merci beaucoup.
Look, this talk about books is all very interesting. No one likes reading them books more than me. But you know what's more interesting? Money. For instance, all the money that's in...
I quite disagree. There's nothing much less interesting than money. It's what you can buy with it that's interesting.
I think you know that there might be something at the bottom of Tangletown that would be of particular interest if it were to be transferred from one set of hands to another.
Your hands, for instance.
You know that such a move could turn the other gangs against you.
But what if they blamed somebody that wasn't you
Or us.
or us?
Interesting. What do you propose?
You leave that to us. But as a good faith, you could expect a nice payout. And a better position.
Is she buying it, you think?
Yeah, why don't you make a sway roll here to see if she believes you?
I don't have that.
I do.
Well,
Well, he's the one doing all the talking.
Okay.
Now you
Yeah,
Six.
I haven't done
Dang,
Whoa.
nice. Done and done.
Ooh,
So
that's
do you
silver
have
tongue.
1 dot or 0 dots?
0 dots.
Okay, so to roll only 1 die, you need to either spend 2 stress to push yourself, or have somebody else who's been assisting here spend one stress to
What's a
assist
devil's bargain?
you. Oh, a devil's bargain. Thank you for asking. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, and I completely skipped
Because it
over
says
it.
push yourself or accept a devil's bargain.
Oh, goodness gracious, how have I gone this long?
Where?
Okay, devil's bargains are basically you can accept something that will now become true. Whether it's something that is fictionally important to this exact scene, like she will accept under this like she will, whether she accepts or not is on the die roll, but
Right.
you make a devil's bargain where she's like, maybe one example for here would be she says, I will send one of my men with you.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Then you will now have a new member of your crew that is
Right.
actually loyal to her.
Right.
Alternatively, it could be something, especially in a longer game instead of just a one-shot, that is a little bit more far-reaching.
Okay.
Like, for example, maybe she'll say, yes, or maybe regardless, she'll say, well, in order to consider this, I need you to murder Celia, who's your best friend. And then you're like, oh shit, now she expects me to murder my best friend.
Okay.
Whether
And-
you actually do or not is not important, but the fact that she would expect that of you would be what the devil's bargain
And
would
what's the downside to taking my 2 stress points?
be. So you only have 9 stress boxes, so
Okay.
basically 2 out of 9 things that you can do, or 2 of your mana out of 9 that you have to do cool
Do
stuff.
we get them back at all?
During downtime, you'll get them back. So
Alright, I'm
this
gonna-
is all a big extended score.
I'm gonna expend the stress points
Okay.
because I think we are in a already complex enough situation with
Yes.
doing a devil's bargain.
Devil's bargains in like a more action-based scenario, like if you're like sneaking across a courtyard.
Right.
Maybe you make a noise that draws attention.
Right.
Other devil's bargains include drawing heat for your gang, doing something that is going to get not necessarily the cops, but maybe other gangs
Right.
like looking for you, looking into what you did, and making it less easy to just be a person out in the street.
Okay.
And if you're like in a fight, another devil's bargain would be he definitely gets a cut on me,
Right.
and then when you roll, he might also get another cut on you.
Okay.
But it's basically you're like, okay, I let him take a small slice on my ribs in order for me to have a better position for me to just gut him.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 2 stress points though.
Okay, brilliant.
So 6.
But perfect. Mechanics sorted. And yeah, she absolutely agrees to this plan. She thinks it's flawless, thinks it's beautiful, and totally believes you guys. Cool. I know that Dahlia wanted to try to convince her to spill something about Rorik, but
That's okay. It's just pretty.
it's
you guys go ahead.
I think she's busy.
You guys go ahead.
Okay, well let's
Okay. So yeah, let's
Do you want to rob the war chest or should
Is
we
he
do
there?
the sash?
is
Well, we need the sash to do the
I
work.
think
Alright.
we're not saying this in this room, right?
Yeah,
No.
Okay.
No,
is he
out
there,
of
by the way?
character.
Her second Belden? Is he in the room?
No, you didn't see him.
Oh, I want to ask.
Do you want to ask where he is?
Yeah. Oh, where's Belden?
He's busy doing.
Are you
my
sure
book.
you can trust him?
She blinks like, of course, he's very loyal.
So were you.
Ooh. She stares daggers at you but says nothing.
All right. Well, thanks for the tea.
And the finger foods.
Yes. So
I should note that 6-0 did not eat or drink anything.
Did you get to look at the books at all?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
back there looking
Yeah.
at the book, whatever it was about.
yeah, it's I mean, it's. Do you speak? What's the name of this language? Oh God, there's a
Slovenian?
name for it.
Swedish?
No.
Just naming languages.
Urdu?
I don't know how to determine what languages my
The
character
click?
speaks.
The click language of the Kalahari?
I
tribes?
ask you if you speak a language, and then you tell me if you do.
Okay,
You say yes or no.
sure.
So, do you speak or read, in this case, pre-fall? This is the wrong PDF. No wonder I can't find it. I have too many PDFs open. Most common is Imperial, Slavic. Hadrathi, that's the language I'm looking for. Hadrathi is an ancient tongue found mostly in musty old tomes, but still spoken among some people, particularly Aruvians. Many favor its elaborate, scathing expletives.
What was it called again?
Hadrathi.
Hadravi?
Hadrathi. Hadrathi.
Hadrathi. Ancient language.
So if you want to speak Hadrathi, absolutely go for it.
I would say, since my character is obsessed with pre-cataclysmic things, she probably speaks Hadrathi, or can
Absolutely.
at least read it.
Then yeah, totally. That makes sense to me, so I don't see why not. So yeah, it's written in Hadrathi. It is like a horticulture book talking about this strange word that even with your study in Hadrathi, you're still kind of shaky on what it means. Chlorophyll, something, it involves plants and green, and it's all very mysterious since there's no sunlight in anything, that there hasn't been sunlight for 300 years. It's
I'd say in Hadrathi, or at least my best approximation there, because I'd imagine it's kind of like Aramaic, or a lot of people don't speak it anymore, but some people read it. Are you quite interested in horticulture?
She turns and looks at you and she smiles and she says, I rather am. And she replies in fluent Hadrathi.
Poison.
Ah, so you're not one of the common folk then.
What are you guys saying?
Never.
Well met.
You as well. So she,
Can we do a flash forward?
yeah, that's exactly it.
I want to make sure later on I ask you if any of those books you read were about poisons from plants.
Oh.
They did not appear to be about poisons from plants, but they might be about poisonous plants.
Okay, because I'm
Like, it's not about this is how you make a poison from plant. It's
Right.
more like this is nightshade and
Right.
some of its properties.
because maybe she poisoned him, and she might try to poison us later. So
A great deal of it was about a substance that I believe is called chlorophyll.
sounds dangerous.
Sounds delicious. No, I have no idea what that is.
Exactly. It's both dangerous and delicious. Har 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 har.
Hey kids.
I kind of realize now that I basically described with my character I described as Cinnabite.
Oh,
That's
what?
fine.
You're just. You have such sights to show you?
So, yeah, we're gonna flash forward to cut to the action. So we wanted to just go to stealing this
Sure.
thing, right?
Yeah.
It should be the sash. The sash.
Sounds
robbery.
6-0.
So the sashes you're going to have acquired, which we can go and make a roll for it right now.
I want to.
Sure, do you
I
want me
want
to
to foresight assist her though,
Yeah, and I would like to
in case things go south.
Yeah, I was thinking I could be like outside with my dog is a watchdog,
Mhm.
and kind of keep an eye out for like anything going on inside the
Okay.
their base
So-
or any sentries walking around.
In that case, you can do what's called a setup action,
Yeah.
which would then improve either her position or her effect. So, doing this setup action.
Oh, I was just gonna say, could I assist him with the survey?
Sure.
I was gonna ask
Yeah,
actually if I
surveys
can
is
have a
what it does.
device,
Oh, it is.
like an arcane device that's similar to like an earpiece where they can communicate with me at a distance.
Those would be fairly rare and expensive, and acquiring one would be a kind of project that you could work towards, but you would not have right out of the
Okay.
gate.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you hear the dog barking, you'll know something's
That's
going
the-
down.
Do we
That's a
know?
signal.
Do the Lamplax have an official symbol or seal?
No,
Okay.
they're pretty ragtag. There's a lot of them.
Just give me some coal.
Alright,
If
so-
you give me some coal dust, they'll believe that the
Well, no. I want to give you a piece of parchment that that says whatever time she's going to be going. It says, Bazo said we should make the first attempt at this time. So if she's found, she can say she's in there because we found this, and we wanted to protect her from this attempt by Bazo's two people.
Gotcha. Double cross.
It's a backup in case they catch her in there. If they catch
Backup.
her in there, they say, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
You say, "Well, because we found this and we agreed to help you." All right, with that, I will
Backup
excuse
double
myself
cross.
for a
Except
second.
my character is extraordinarily bad at lying.
You
I
just-
guess you
That's
can
why
just
you got
hand
this.
the paper.
yeah,
That's why I'm
that's your
assisting you.
assistant to
My,
get it.
uh,
All right.
foresight assistant.
So go ahead and you're gonna roll. So take one stress to help him.
Okay. Do I take a
And
stress for the?
You do
survey?
not need to
I
take
take one
stress.
stress.
Wait,
Okay,
I'm
that's how I
helping
do.
her now?
So you get an extra die from her assisting you.
Oh, cool. All right.
So you
Oh,
don't
okay.
want that 3.
She's helping him.
Right.
I did some.
I got a 4.
4. Much better. So I didn't tell you what your position was, and I really
Yeah.
should have. This is risky standard because
Okay.
we're just going into
Right.
most situations are going to be risky standard. So you succeed, but there's a consequence.
Right. So I'm just like looking out, have the dog there, waiting for trouble, trying to keep an eye, make sure the area is clear for her. And what happens?
So what happens is like a blue coat patrol comes up
Oh boy. All right.
and they're gonna like start talking to you like
Okay.
like you're not like under arrest or anything, but just like you got a leash for that dog.
Oh, she's very well trained. Sit. She sits down. Very friendly too. Pet away. That's what you want.
Yeah, like maybe like they stop and they pet the dog and they're like, well, all right then. And so like they're not like hassling you, but they're like right there petting your dog.
Yeah.
So-
I get very friendly. I know. That's how you handle the blue coats.
So that's a complication that's ongoing right now. You can deal with that, but
Ooh,
it's not
okay.
particularly a problem yet.
Oh, all right. Well, you will.
So now when you're doing this, did you want to be improving her position so that it's going to be controlled standard, or her effect so that it's going to be risky great?
Let's go for the position.
Okay,
Keep it control. That's good.
cool.
'cause
So
I'm like,
your standard effect is going to be stealing 2 sashes, and it's going to be controlled, so you can do it with fairly little difficulty. So
Okay.
yeah.
go ahead and roll your sneak prowl.
Okay.
You don't need to. Well, there's no reason that you would need
You guys want
to make a
these
roll to
dummies.
spot where they had put the sashes.
Okay.
I think it's fairly easy. You could have picked up on that.
So I get to roll
So-
3 dice because I have 3 dots in it, right?
You should have 2 dots in it.
I added a 3rd dot to prowl.
You only can add up to 2 dots and everything. 3 is the
Yes.
3 is too many.
Prowl started at 2 dots.
Right,
And
right.
then I added another
You
dot.
cannot add another dot to it. At the beginning, you can only have up to 2 and anything.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So that was me not being entirely clear. So put
I
that
thought
dot.
I could have up to 3.
Nope.
Sorry.
Oh, you can have up to 2. 3 is too many.
Okay.
I may have not been 100% clear on that.
Yeah, I thought you said we could have up to 3. So that's me mishearing, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have 2 dots in prowl then.
Perfect. 6. You do it. Bam.
Oh.
Wham bam. In, out, got ghosted.
Cool.
So you guys with the dog and the blue coats see 6-0 come back over the wall and like whistle, and you know that she's in, she's out, she's got what you need. So now you guys need to extract yourself from these blue coats.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'll say, look, fellas, it's been real great talking with you. You know, seeing you protect and serve, but this one's got to go home, get some sleep. Gotta take her in from the cold. So I'll see you around.
Okay. So in order to bluff your way out of there
Yeah.
without attention, that would be sway.
Right. I don't have any sway, so I gotta spend a stress.
You can roll 2 dice and keep the lowest, or you can spend a stress to roll 1 die.
Okay, let's-
2 stress to roll 1 die.
Ooh, I'll roll 2 and keep the lowest.
Okay.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot for
Also, she's still here, so if she wants
Yeah.
to help you out, that she can take 1 stress. Alternatively, you guys can do a group action where she can also say a few things, and then you both roll, and you keep the highest of either one of you, but you will take stress based on any failures that crop up.
Ooh, okay.
So you would take between 0 and 2 stress, or you can definitely take 2 stress. Or
Alright.
she can definitely take 1 stress.
Okay, well, let's do the between 0 and 2. So we'll do the group action.
Okay, so say a few things. I know you've been away from the table, but
I'm
your
so sorry,
character
guys.
was there. No.
Help me
It's-
bluff my way away from these cops.
So the cops came and while you guys were watching out, but they got distracted by the dog.
They're
So they're
petting
just
it.
sitting there and they're petting Daisy.
And he's trying to convince them that
But it's time for you guys to leave, and you need to do it without attracting attention. So
And
he's
what
like,
you were saying? You were saying that.
I just was like, gotta get home. The dog needs to sleep.
Mhm. And were we together?
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. It was really nice meeting you guys. I'm really glad you're patrolling the streets, keeping the town safe. I mean, all these gangs, it's just been awful, but it's great that we have you guys protecting us and our wonderful canine companions.
Perfect.
Have a lovely evening, gentlemen.
All right, so roll your sway that they do not think you are suspicious.
2.
Uh,
You have 2.
yep, you have 2, and then you are taking the lowest because you have 0.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Double sixes.
Bam! All right, so that's a crit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 3.
Oh, you have
so
3. So you're
Happy
gonna
go.
take 1 stress for yourself.
yeah.
But you guys managed to not only extract yourself without any problems, but these 2 blue coats are now you guys are on friendly terms with these blue coats now. So you're
What
not.
are their names?
I was looking that up right this second because I do have that here.
Officer.
One of them started. Wah wah.
They are Lewitt and Mira.
Got it.
Yep.
Nice. Ooh, some friends in the
Cuddle and a
force.
puppy will do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So now it's ice time.
Well,
All right.
first, we need to. We need you to. Well, there's 2 ways this can go. We want to frame your buddy Clave, and then either. There's 2 ways we can go. One is we can just kill him and plant the red sash on him and bring his body to right to Bazo, or better yet, rough him up and then bring him to Bazo, and he says, "Why did you rough him up?" Say, "This is why," and pull out the sash and have a note on it looking forward to you changing sides. What's her name? Malera. But that would mean we need you to become.
Convincey.
Can you?
Finesse or something.
Well, you don't have finesse though, right?
No. I
Six-
prowl.
Do you have finesse 60?
Yes.
Okay. So you
I
can.
have 1 in it.
Yeah, but that's better than 0. So could you pretend to be nice to Clave and plant it on him, and then maybe beat the crap out of him?
I cannot pretend to be nice.
But
I
I could
am
pre-
nice to somebody, or I am not nice
We
to
could
somebody.
do a 1-2 punch. Like I could be pretending to be nice to him while you're,
Yeah, he's sneaking
Yes.
from behind.
like I'm like.
Definitely
Take
do
a
that.
slide into his pocket.
And then, all right. So here's my plan. So you do that, and then we say, Clave, we need you, old buddy, old friend. We have some important information to tell Bazo. Can you take us to Bazo right now? We get to Bazo, we say, surprise, this is what we're going to tell you. Clave, can you reach into your pocket? He pulls out the sash, and Bazo gets pissed off. We said, don't worry, we'll take care of this scum for you. But we heard they're going to make a move on your war chest, so maybe it's time to move it or bring us
Yeah,
in as
You can't
security.
trust.
We'll
You
guard,
can't trust
yeah.
your own
You
people.
can't trust your own
this-
people.
Trust us.
This is what we call a social plan. What you guys are attempting to do in order to get to the money is to convince Bazo that you need to be
His
his security.
or to help him move it.
If
Because he
he
trusts
if he
his own.
agrees to
Yeah.
either of those, then you're just gonna have the money.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Right.
do any sneaking. You don't have to do any of that stuff. So your in here is basically it's basically Clave, right? So you're gonna go to Clave and you're
Right.
gonna find him. You'll plant this on him. That's easy enough to do. We'll deal with that. So,
And then get him to bring us to Bazo, so
right.
we're setting him up to reveal himself.
So that part is relatively easy.
Can we get him to bring us to Bazo after we've roughed him up?
Well, we don't rough him up.
Oh, I'm so
The
sorry.
new plan
Yeah.
is don't
Got it,
rough
got
him
it.
up.
Yeah,
Don't rough
just
him up.
slide.
We-
the note
We're gonna
in the
kill him
sash
for
first
Bazo
person.
afterwards.
Got it.
Real quick before he can.
Okay.
Right,
It's
how do these-
Macbeth and his guard situation.
How do these people dress? Do they have like trench coats, or do they wear tighter clothes? Is it saggy? Do they have pockets?
The
The
Lampblacks?
Lampblacks.
I mean, they mostly wear baggy clothes, just, homespuns, nothing well tailored. It's
Urchiny.
urchiny, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty
So
accurate.
like probably like some sort of deep pocketed jacket too. Because I'm just thinking about
So-
how easy it will be to plant a freaking sash on somebody
And with a note, too.
with a note.
I mean, that may be difficult. The sashes, I mean, these are like,
And they're weighted too, right?
they're weighted sashes that are like, 6 feet long.
Got an idea on that.
Oh.
Take the sashes, the weights off, and say, here's a sash for signs of our good deal. You'll need to earn the weights by being loyal to me.
Brilliant.
So just kind of like a big bundle of.
Yes, it's just cloth. Poop.
It's not too hard to put in a big pocket.
This actually may be a deception plan. And
Could
method
write
of
it right
deception
on the
is
sash.
Is this a lie?
It could be rolled
Um,
up
Yeah.
with a ribbon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna cut to the action, which is
Tight.
you guys in Bazo's office
Okay.
with Clave. Whether or not you've successfully planted the scarf and note on him, we're gonna find out in just a second.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Because you've made the attempt, and whether or not he knows about it, like it's on his person, but if he might know about it. You know, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So we're going to roll the engagement roll, which is to find out what position.
Can I have a backup plan?
You always have a
I have a
backup
backup.
plan, but you don't need to tell me what
Okay.
it is right now.
All right, I got a backup plan.
Of course you have it. This game is all about backup plans.
The backup plan's going to involve
Look,
you fighting.
Does
So.
it kill everybody?
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him as soon
Puppy.
as the what?
There's a Jib puppy with you?
Yeah, she's in there, but I'm just gonna have him shoot him with a gun. You know, less chance of
That's
talking
that's
back.
a
Alright.
backup- That's a backup
Yeah.
plan. That is a backup plan.
Well, I think that was part. That's the back front. That's the
I'm gonna
front
have to
up
decide
plan.
what my character would really do in this situation because we did not. Anyway.
No, we're going to shoot Baza. We're going to shoot this guy.
Oh.
Okay.
You're gonna shoot that guy before he
I'm
can be
gonna-
like, oh no,
Yeah.
they planted this
It
on
wasn't
me.
me.
And you're like,
Yeah.
no, he's dead. So is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Can I?
Oh,
ask,
yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
course.
Just to add to the having the idea of just planting something on him. It's cute, but why would he believe just that? What I'm suggesting is, what if we have something happen at the same time?
Like somebody
Like
makes
somebody
a move for
think-
the treasure.
Maybe something like that. Maybe something like an explosion. If we can work in an explosion.
Or another one of the guards of Baza's guards is killed with the other sash, strangled.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could be like, excuse me, I gotta go out.
I
strangle
just
a guard.
don't attend
Yeah,
this
she-
meeting at
she
all.
just doesn't
Oh
come to
yeah,
the
that's
meeting.
even better.
Killing
Yeah.
me at all.
And then at some point during this, you can be like, okay, I make my move, and then I can be like, dong, as the
Yeah.
bells ring. But like you're like in
I'm not
reserve,
sure
I'm
where.
assuming.
Yeah, so basically, I'm going to give a count, like when I know that they've had in, I'm going to give myself a count of like 3 minutes. Then I'm going to move on the guy that I'm going to kill.
Okay,
With a red sash.
of course.
Yeah, well, I'm going to
so-
garrote him.
Yeah.
Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
but kind of.
Yeah, I think it is.
What's many? 2, 3?
Hers isn't.
But
I have to-
No, overall. The
Overall,
we got
yes.
3.
Okay.
Frick,
If one thing goes
Bazo.
wrong,
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you have to mimic believable handwriting for hoity-toity people.
Yeah.
Which might just mean I write it or she write it. Well,
Right.
it might mean that I write it.
We have to plant it on
We have to plant it on
Glaive.
glaive, and then I've got to go out and kill somebody else.
And we've
and we've
That
gotta make
sounds
sure
like
Glaive
quite a.
doesn't-
That
and
sounds
we
like.
have to convince Clave to bring us to Baza.
Well, you've already done that.
Yeah,
that
that's-
part's
okay.
not a question. Does this plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? This detail is that the deception in your plan is that Clave has betrayed them and is working for the Red Sashes.
Right.
So
It does hit
I
Baza,
think
though, I think.
I think that is in fact a weakness, is the fear that someone is going to betray them for the Red Sashes. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have any particular defenses or preparations? Not really. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight into this operation?
This is all us. Like, I don't know if we really need.
My friend is a noble. I highly doubt
Yeah.
she's going to be helpful here.
Well, all of those friends on your list, even the one you have a down tick with, are friends that you could
Oh.
potentially
Yes.
contact.
Oh, then yes,
Celia.
Tilda a beggar would be helpful, or possibly Frake a locksmith if there's anything locked up. But I think Tilda a beggar would actually be the most useful because she can add in on the distraction during the planting of the evidence.
and-
And
Because
Celia is
And
definitely.
Celia could tell us where Clave goes to hang out and drink, so
yeah.
we know
That's
we
how
can
you
do this
found
when
him.
he's drunk.
Oh, and I have
Totally.
a tavern owner buddy too.
Maybe,
Ooh.
yeah. That sounds like for sure. Are there any enemies or rivals that are interfering with this operation? No, actually not, because if anything, the rivals really want that to happen. So, are there any other elements to consider? They are higher tier than you, so that is going to lose you guys a dice, but because they are quite a bit higher tier than you. But with all the other factors, I think 1 die is reasonable. So you're going to get 2 dice to see what kind of approach that you're in. The engagement roll assumes the PCs are approaching the target as intelligently as they can. given the plan and the detail that they provide. So we don't need to play out any tentative probing maneuvers, any special precautions, or any other ponderous non-action. The engagement roller covers all of that. The PCs are already in the action, facing the first obstacle, up on the rooftop, picking a lock, kicking down a door, or speaking directly with the Lord at the party, or in this particular case, the
crime boss.
Crime boss in his office. So,
I should take
6.
this
Brilliant. You
Yeah.
guys are in a controlled position. He welcomes you back in,
way. Okay.
and along with Clave, and is like, "Well, I didn't expect to see you back so soon."
Well, it was pretty urgent we saw you. Something has come to light. It's pretty bad.
Right now is probably when the bell would go off if I succeed on my part.
Sure. You wanna? I feel
Cut
like
away.
I mean, you guys are already in like a great position, so maybe there's a different signal for that.
Oh, I thought that.
And I mean, it's your plan. You tell me how it goes.
Oh, I thought the bells go off if somebody dies.
It does. I mean, are you killing the guy immediately, or are you giving them a little bit more time? This is like right as they walk in.
I should do it immediately because we got to reveal his we got to get to the cut to the chase.
Yeah.
So,
Reveal his
It's
betrayal.
suspicious that we're immediately arriving and then immediately there's a death. Well, yeah.
Not really.
No, because you were trying to
have to
get
do
to
it.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
not-
tell him that.
So
the
yeah,
Reds-
you're like there's a problem. It's
Yeah.
immediate, and then all of a sudden, bong.
Someone's dead.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're too
It was
late.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
The red
Yes.
sash is moving on your group to try to kill some of your guys. The other ones they're trying to recruit. Isn't that right, Clave?
Clave like looks around like what, and then yeah.
Check. I suggest you have somebody check his pockets, and we'll back away slightly so it's clear we're not planting anything on him.
Right. And Clave is like looking around like, what? And Bazo is looking at you like, that's a pretty bold claim. So you need to make a roll here.
I have command.
Yeah, okay, this is where you would get command.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So 2 dice,
What is your command?
2 dots,
Then yes, 2 dice. Brilliant. What'd you get?
6 altogether.
No, it's the highest one.
Oh, 4.
So 4.
Sorry.
Okay. So you do it, or if you look at your player's hand out,
Yes.
you're in a controlled situation. You've rolled a 4 or a 5, so you hesitate. So you're backing away, and you're telling him this.
I suggest you have one of your trusted men check him right away
Okay.
before he does something worse.
So you can do it with a minor consequence.
Okay.
I think the minor consequence here is
Gray hair.
Could I have assisted him with cohort or consort?
with consort.
Or maybe I'll wait until
Not really,
No,
because
okay,
you would need to have been like
actively.
involved in the conversation. But I think the complication is a tick on. I'm gonna make a clock for Bazo being suspicious of you.
Okay.
So
I think it's
this
too
is-
high.
Yeah, there are 4 boxes on this
Right.
clock, and one of them is now filled.
Oh
Okay.
boy! All right, we gotta do this
If
fast.
all 4 of them are filled,
Right.
then he figures you guys out.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's what's going on. Bazo's suspicion.
Listen, we know you don't want to hear it. We know it's hard to hear, but the truth is that there are some people working for you that are turning the other. Like you hired us to help you, and this is what we've discovered.
And
I'm
like
not
as you're like saying that, the other thugs have come up, and like Clave is like what the hell, man? And they start pulling this the sash out of his pocket. Who was the one that actually planted it on him?
Right.
Okay. So that is definitely a sneaky type of maneuver for Prowl.
Oh,
So,
is it prowl rather than finesse?
I have
no,
Prowl.
finesse would make sense.
I have 2 in Prowl.
Oh, so
finesse,
prowl.
Subtly putting taking an item from someone's pocket.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Was she
yeah.
assisting? Because maybe she was like
Yes,
distracting
yeah.
him. You know.
Yes, finesse.
Well,
Finesse
she
is right
she
in there.
could she
But
did
she was
assist us when she was
distracting.
consorting.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we also had the distraction from. Well, this
Baker.
all went
This
into.
is the flashback.
Yeah, the flashback.
Right.
This is a flash. So as they start pulling it out of his pocket, we flash back to you putting it into his pocket, and we can see like if the note made it in, or if he noticed you guys. So
Okay.
you can take a stress to give one more die here,
Do it.
and
Do it.
then
What's
so
it waiting
you
for?
roll
Do
3
it.
dice.
I
Right, you
only
have
have
one?
one in finesse.
Oh, sorry, 2 dice. Would you like to take a devil's bargain or alternately push yourself in order to get a 3rd die?
What does pushing myself do?
Take two
You take
stress.
2
Take
stress.
2 stress. And devil's bargain is.
Something
Something
bad.
bad.
Devil's bargain is something.
Don't
So
do it.
you could. I could say a devil's bargain is I'll put another tick onto the Bob's of Suspicion clock.
Oh no.
Another
do
devil's
it.
bargain is heat. You guys for your crew would take heat. That is less of a big deal because you guys are on a one shot, so you don't have to worry about the consequences of your actions.
I think right now I'll just do the 2 dice.
Okay.
But I'm so sorry. If I'm assisting her and if the beggar woman, didn't you have another beggar woman like distracting her? Does
There's
that...
the beggar woman also.
That wasn't
Oh.
in this portion of it though. This
Oh.
is while
Oh.
you guys were.
I thought it was.
Oh, in the flashback of when you guys were
Yeah,
planting
she
it on
said
there.
she was
was
going to
the
use the
one?
beggar
Like
to,
when we were on the street.
Oh.
to help be a part of the distraction.
Right, because it's really distracting having a beggar coming up and begging for a change.
Yeah.
And then
That's when
I'm
she did the-
chatting and like...
Yeah, she's chatting her up. The beggar comes up.
I'll allow one extra die in this situation then.
Cool.
Okay, come on.
Come on,
You just
beggar
keep the
woman.
highest one.
It's all
Yep,
on you,
that's how it
6-0.
I got a 4.
Oh.
4 is okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were still in a controlled situation and doing for standard effects. So you hesitate. So you can withdraw and try a different approach and do something other than finesse, or you can do it with a minor complication. Some kind of complication, reduced effect, you suffer lesser harm, or you end up in a risky position. So,
Let's do
I get to choose as the GM,
Sorry.
but I'm just telling you what your option, what potentially might happen here. Well, you get to choose if you want to withdraw or if you want to go forward with the consequence, and then I'll tell you what the consequence is.
There's no scarf.
I mean, she can withdraw
I
and
have a
try
backup. That'd
a
be
different
funny.
approach.
Yeah,
No, no,
framing
another
him.
flashback.
Then we do a second flashback here. But so
Plan B.
Yeah.
Or D. Plan B.
you can also resist consequences that happen. Besides just harm, we were talking about that before the show. When something bad happens, you can say, "No, I'm too much of a badass to let that happen."
Okay.
So, and then resist that consequence.
All right. So, how do you resist a consequence? Is that taking stress points?
So you're gonna roll a die and then take stress based on how well you rolled or how poorly.
Gotcha.
But either way, you resist the consequence. So
Okay.
you could take anywhere between 0 and 5 stress by
Okay, no.
making an attempt to resist a roll. But
I mean, you
it's
got
your
none
way.
right
It's your
now.
trump card to say. You know, when I tell you the consequence here is that you're going to have reduced effect. The note is not going to make it in, even though the stash does, and you end up in a risky position. That is present day risky position because the note's not there. It's all tied together. If you want to resist this consequence, then you roll based on what kind of consequence that you are resisting. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and I'm resisting the note not making it in.
Right. So, insight is consequences from deception or understanding. Prowess are consequences from physical strain or injury, and resolve are consequences from mental strain or willpower. In this case, it could, whether it would fall under resolve or prowess are kind of. Because I don't really think it's deception or understanding, too. Well, it could be deception here. Usually it's pretty cut and dry, but the question here is whether or not the note makes it in to his pocket or just...
I am actually going to approach it a different way.
Yes.
If the sash made it in, but the note did not.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically did we have in the note?
It said, I'm looking forward to you changing side. For now, the sash symbolizes our new alliance, but you'll have to earn the weights with your loyalty.
Okay, so I am actually going to accept it that the sash is on him because I'm killing somebody later on with another sash, and I can leave the note there.
Okay.
As long because if the sash is always a sign.
No, but why would they leave the note if they killed the guy? That wouldn't make any sense.
Also, that sash would have been weighted.
Yeah, that sash should have been weighted.
Well, I would cut the weights off beforehand.
But they wouldn't leave a note like that
Well,
to
the
somebody
note
who.
would be like it fell out of his pocket. Kind
Exactly.
But why would they kill him if he was going to change
Well,
sides?
the note fell out of Clave's pocket.
The note fell out of
While he
whoever
was doing the
killed
killing.
him's pocket.
Yeah,
right.
because this whole situation means there's more than one person.
Right.
that's-
Oh, that's
right.
true. Right.
That's
yeah.
what
Yeah.
It could have been.
Yeah.
That's right. It could have been.
So I'm just going to make it look like
Okay.
this person dropped a note, but the fact that he has a red sash on him is also incriminating.
Probably one of his own people.
Does that make
right.
any sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel you. I get it.
Yeah, I get it too because then it could have been somebody else, another lampblack who's switching sides could have killed this guy for not switching sides.
And the
Yeah.
more disarray, like the more
Yeah.
confusion, and he thinks more people are involved, the more
Yeah.
he can.
Now, whether or not I can communicate any of that with them beforehand, probably not.
Ooh.
I mean, this we could.
I just have to
would
rely
say,
on the fact that they're not going to go like, "Hey, there's supposed to be a note there."
Yeah.
I
Keep
mean,
looking.
I would say if you want to, I would say it would be a one stress flashback to have like a before the murder scene where you're like, if the note's not there, I've got another plan for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
You want to do that? I mean,
yeah, I'll take
think
the
that's
one
a good
stress on that.
So take
Okay.
one stress. It's now definitely true. You all know that if the note's not there, that it will show up later.
Right.
All right. So they found the sash on him, right?
Yeah, they find the
Good
sash on
action.
him, and Clave is like, what happened, man?
I scream out, "He's going for a gun!" and I shoot him in the face.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
damn.
Yeah, I got the pistol.
I will. When he says that, I will dive in front of Bazo to try to protect him.
Okay.
So the actual killing of him is not like. Can you do the
I roll
force?
skirmish or
Because I feel like your intent here is to kill him before he says anything.
before he can say anything.
Whether or
counters that
not
story.
he says something, I think is what's up in the air. You can definitely kill him.
Okay.
So with diving in front, do you want that to be kind of like if you're like yelling and as you dive, it would add to this like
Yeah.
the believability and
Yeah,
also
we gotta fill the room with
even if he says
confusion.
anything.
Yeah. Watch it out.
So if you want to take a stress, you can give him
Alright.
an extra die
All right. I'll do that.
because you've used both of your insights.
Okay.
For this.
I'll
So
take a stress.
cool. So you get a bonus die, and you're
Oh,
roll
cool.
skirmish
All right.
to shoot this dude.
Ooh.
ooh.
Not so good. A 3.
No, that's bad.
Oh yeah.
They're going south.
So
Well-
we were in a controlled situation.
It's gone too risky now.
Definitely risky. So you falter.
So I miss
So
him. Or
Basically you have a half a second as you're like he's going for a gun, and you start to pull out your gun, and it just like catches on your belt,
Oh, geez.
and then you pull it out. Now because it took you that extra half a second, everybody else in the room has their hand on their guns and are looking right at you. If you still shoot him, there's a chance someone is going to shoot you back, but you can do it. If you want to be like, oh, somebody else stop him, you can let go of your gun and like roll a sway instead to try to convince them to shoot him. It's up
Let's
to you.
not resort to violence, people. That's what the red sashes do. We're here to
Yeah, but, like,
expose.
our
I'm just
ru-
saying so that I'm shooting.
I mean, no, that is a good point, but like our ruse isn't gonna hold up. Like,
Oh,
No.
gotta kill this
yeah,
guy.
Clave's. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay.
I
So
hope
we
that
hear
whole
the-
discussion wasn't out loud.
It was
Oh
not.
yeah.
No.
Don't.
No.
Guys, our ruse won't hold up.
No,
if I
this
don't
is-
shoot
this
him.
is-
Hey,
this is-
that's
this
good
is a
point.
Violence
flashback.
isn't a good way to solve these problems.
It's a flashback to you guys, like in your I don't know where your like little hideout is that you plan your things, but you're like, and if he says anything, I'm gonna shoot him, and you're like, man, that's what the red sash is. So
It's in
no,
the spectral realm.
it's not gonna hold up, and so you
Alright.
decided that you're just gonna shoot him.
Yeah. So even though it's a bit slower, it's like he's going for a gun. And then I shoot him.
So roll. So you're gonna roll again.
Okay.
And I'm
If
making
you-
it a big theatrical production to protect the
So
Bazo.
yeah, it's gonna cost you another stress to continue
Okay.
to assist, but absolutely you can.
Right. So the two
With
for
all the
skirmish.
fray, I'm edging toward the door and I've got my hand near my weapon.
So yeah, you're still in skirmish. It's
Okay.
now risky instead of
Oh
control.
boy. All right. See if we can do it.
Um,
Oh yes, a 6.
Okay,
Thank
you do
goodness.
The
it.
other one was a 1.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Okay.
So you do it, and he's dead, and everyone is like, everyone sees
Oh
like
my god, thank god.
in that half a second he had gone for a weapon, just like everybody else in the room.
Ah. Okay.
And
good. That's our
like
story.
he falls over dead. The bell goes off again, dong, and Clave falls over and his gun falls out of his hand and he is decidedly dead.
I say, oh thank god. Man, if he had taken you out, they would have given him his weights for sure. That's what they do. They give him the sash to start, and then when they do something, they give him their weights.
Yeah, and Bazo nods because that's now canon as to how it works.
That's the thing, Bazo, we heard. They're trying to recruit your guys. Some of your guys have already turned, and the ones who don't, they're turning on each other.
I don't really like that. How'd you?
Us
how'd you
neither.
go
Oh,
about
it's
this?
horrible.
He was a good man.
Was.
I know greed can ruin anybody.
I heard that, what's her name? Malera put a bounty out that anybody who helped turn on you would get a share of your war chest.
Our war chest is it's hidden, it's safe.
Yeah, as well as Tangle Town can hide things.
He narrows his eyes.
We got it revealed. It.
All it took was a couple beers to get that information out of one of your guys.
Oh,
Clave
okay.
here.
Go ahead.
And like his like cut to his body in a pool of blood on the floor.
This ghost is gonna eat me.
I mean, they're gonna take care of his
They're
ghost.
gonna take care of it.
And outside where you've done a thing, you can see. You heard the second bell,
Okay.
which you knew like that was. On,
Yeah, I mean somebody shot Clave.
yeah, which was coming.
Probably. Well,
Hopefully.
But you can see
go the other way.
the crows have started to circle. There are two Death Seeker crows that are in the sky. Usually takes them between 4 and 6 hours
So
to
curious
locate a
where the
body.
third wing is exactly.
So did I manage to kill my guy without any incident?
Oh yeah, there was not even a question.
Oh,
I mean, to find a guy to murder, you can do that.
okay. I didn't know if I had to roll for it to like do that and play the stuff.
In this particular case, no.
Cool.
And once he's dead, you can plant the stuff fairly easily.
Yeah, I plant the stuff. I also leave a bloody male boot print, like just a random boot that I had stolen from somebody earlier.
Perfect. So yeah, Bazo is.
And I throw the boot out in the harbor.
Have they found the body now? That she
no,
left?
no.
Oh,
but
okay.
she sees that the Death Seeker crows are coming, and as they fly in their weird, twisted, like lumpy way.
Yeah, and then I just proceed to my alibi cover-up story for why I wasn't with these guys, which is I'll say like a night at the opera with my spouse.
You pull off your work gloves and you pull on your opera gloves.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It's a very bloody opera.
It's perfect. I love
that's
it.
the 3 penny, you know.
Of course.
I was hoping there was a picture of a 3-winged death crow because I'm
Oh,
still trying to
there's
work
not.
that out of my mind.
I know, since I'm trying to imagine the flapping
Where's the third wing?
mechanism.
It comes.
Is it like the top?
Maybe in
Yeah.
the back.
Weird dorsal thing
Exactly.
kind of thing.
It's like that. They just they fly like in a
Manta
closed
ray.
circle, like like an arrow, but only flapping. It's
Are
weird.
these chips for everybody?
Yes,
Okay.
because I've been eating all of them now. So that's why I'm like, get them the fuck away from me. Sorry, Millie.
You guys eat more gummies, I
No,
guess.
dude. Okay.
We should
So
we gotta tell him that we should be the ones to guard his war
Ah,
chest.
well, maybe it's right.
give me one of those.
Of course. There you go. No, 2 kilo.
Oh no, there's only 2 left.
Oh, they're yours.
Sorry,
gonna eat them
we're
both.
buying off of you.
Alright. So, yeah, are you guys going to bring up that you want to be the ones to do his war chest?
Somebody's got to protect it. You obviously can't trust your own people. at
But
this
you can
point.
trust us.
That sounds like you're all contributing in a group action here to sway him
Oh,
to
boy.
believe you. So, you have 2 in sway. You have
None.
0.
I don't think any of us have sway.
I do.
Oh, you have sway.
Your slide does.
Slide us, yeah.
Your slide has to.
Just
Yeah.
slide in there and sway them.
So you can both roll. The 2 of you with 0 roll 2 dice and keep the lowest.
Okay.
And worst case, she's gonna take a bunch of stress.
I got a 4.
5.
4. Oh, lowest?
Yeah, you take
1.
the lowest 1. Okay,
5.
so 5 is your overall highest number for the whole group. So you're gonna get a 5, which means you do it, but there is a consequence. You also take 1 stress because he failed. Thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks, Nate. You're great.
In hindsight, I would have
sneaky.
taken sway instead of probably survey. I took 2 in survey. I should have taken 1 in sway.
I wish I'd taken finesse instead
That's
of
what the
control.
build said to do. But I think the sway would have been more useful.
It might have been. Sometimes you don't know how you're gonna play it until you play it. So yeah, he nods. But you're gonna get 2 more ticks on your Bazo suspicion clock.
Oh boy, so we're
Now-
at 3 right now, right?
3 out of 4?
It's
Because
gonna be 3 out of 4. Remember, you can resist this
Okay.
if you want to. This is a resistance of deception or understanding, so it's going to be insight. So how many different dots under insight?
I only
So-
have 1 dot in insight.
So okay, you only have 1 thing in insight.
Yes.
So you're gonna roll 1 die, and then you're gonna take stress equal to whatever you roll, subtracted from 6. So if you roll a 6, you take nothing. If you roll a 5, you take 1. If you roll a 1, you're gonna take 5.
Are we supposed to be doing anything with
If
these
I
little
take 5,
things?
I'll be nearly
Uh,
trauma. I already
yes.
have 3 stress.
No one has anyone rolled a desperate action?
What's a desperate?
No.
action?
Desperate action is when so those little things are your experience tracker.
Oh,
You mostly gain experience at the end of a session,
okay.
unless you take a desperate action. So most of your actions have either been controlled because you rolled very well going into this, or risky as the action degenerates and it slowly becomes more and more desperate.
So- If I had opted to resist and it had been under prowess, I would have gotten to roll 4 dice and then subtract it from 6.
Yes. Well, the not the total, but the highest number.
Oh, I guess I didn't understand that right.
I mean, I don't know if it would have been under prowess, but it might have been. That was the tricky one.
Yeah.
And I think the
I mean, I think the alternate plan worked out fine.
I think the alternate plan
Yeah.
worked out fine.
If we can get them to discover the other body before they kill us.
Yes.
But it's good to know for the future if I screw up prowling that I get to roll 4 dice.
Well, not necessarily, because it's whether
Depends.
it depends on what the consequence is. Because if the action you're taking is prowling, but the thing you're resisting is being discovered, then you might be rolling insight.
Ah, okay.
And if the thing that you're doing is trying to sway someone, but the thing that you're resisting is getting shot in the face,
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I feel like.
it's
So I'm rolling to resist with my 1 dice, and I want a 6. And I got a 2.
Oh,
So that means I get 4? Alright, I'm nearly.
oh boy. Alright.
how many does that bring you up to?
I have 2 left.
Well,
Okay. I only
You're
got
doing it
1
right.
down, so less stress for you.
And this whole thing we're doing
And
is a
this stress-
score, right?
I'm sorry, I remembered how to candy in my purse.
so he nods, and he says, "Right. Well, it's not his voice. Hold on.
Yeah, I thought
It's
you
like a
kind of
cute
like
little
a,
habit.
gangster.
Sorry. The
That was
Sour.
the sweet and sour like
That was
messed
one of the
with
gremlins from the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons episode of Community. Our Black says that.
Gangster voice, come back. Right, well. Back to Goblin! Oh,
You'll get it.
No.
everything's ruined. Oh, your immersion.
Make him a
I'm
goblin.
so
He's a
sorry.
goblin. That's his
He's a
voice.
goblin now.
He's like a Joe Pesci guy.
He goes goblin when he's stressed too. Like somebody. It's fun.
He gets a little goblin-y, you know?
It's just a little goblin-y.
It's a little goblin.
He lives in a little hole, dungeony kind
Oh,
of. Alright.
so.
Anyway, I'm gonna die if I try its voice again and I start laughing. So he will agree. This is you have managed to successfully get this score. He will let you guard the war chest. He will take you right up to it, and then you guys just walk away with the money. He's gonna find out. There's no doubt about that. But
I have a suggestion for
Well,
that.
yeah, we need a plan.
He's not
Yeah,
my
we gotta
best-
blame
he's
it
not
on the
my
crows or
BFF
something.
anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You guys.
No, we just...
Yeah, we do need to blame it on this.
This whole thing is
But it would
just...
still be our ineptitude.
Tangletown is just a floating structure, right? Out in the water.
I mean, it's a lot of floating structures. It's like, it's like an aircraft carrier that got sunk in a river,
Mhm.
and then a bunch of people tied yachts to it.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's not... You can't sink it more, because it's already
No, like the main, the place where you're going, and the war chest is essentially at the bottom of, is like at like maybe not quite a 45-degree angle, but pretty close, where the bottom of it is actually embedded in the riverbed, and the top of it is above the water.
Here's
I have a
my
question.
idea. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just meant like I just wanted to ask if we were to say like, oh, we got there and it was gone. Like, what are the do they have like a security there that we would know about, like lore of seeing like how are they making sure it's safe? Would we know that?
I mean, basically, there are people there that sit guard, but now you've convinced him that he can't trust those people, and so you are then the ones taking that guard position, and like,
So maybe we were too late. when
So-
we steal it.
Well, I think yeah, and I think
He's not gonna believe that, though.
Yeah.
No.
I think we need to convince
that or-
them that we got attacked by a combined group of crows and red sashes, and then we give we already give half the money to Malera because we said we would. We give the other half to the crows because that was the show of good faith that we would bring her something of value. But we need to make sure we need to make sure that each group brags about getting the war chest from the Lamp
May I
Blacks.
make
Okay.
a suggestion?
Yeah, of course.
As that I have expressed obvious disgust with her boss in the past, and have gotten along quite famously with the other two groups, an internal betrayal might make the most sense in this case.
What do you mean?
I betray you guys, I steal
Yeah.
the safe.
Oh,
I bring it to the other people.
okay.
He'll still, I mean, because we vouched for you, and don't think then we would.
Yeah,
still
and
definitely
that's
suffer
also
consequences.
would explain why you weren't around
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we went to talk to
I think
them.
we could pull it off.
Yeah. that's
Okay,
interesting.
let's do that, and we'll be like,
But we need a
6-0.
plan. How do we get the crows to crow about it, and the red
And
sashes
not
to
specifically say they came to us and offered.
just and say that brag that they stole it. How do we get them to do that?
Because it would
That
look better
sounds
for
to
them.
me like a different score. Because you guys have essentially you have free access to this war chest now,
Right.
and at your leisure, you will go and you will deliver it to the two different groups. The actual making sure that they brag about it and everything would be like a different score entirely.
all right, well, what
We can kind of move into downtime at this point,
Okay.
where you guys have you are now like camped out in Tangletown, keeping an eye on this war chest,
Okay.
and you're getting paid to do so.
Okay.
One of you is going to need to be injured for this plan to work.
Oh yeah, that could be some good evidence.
Amelia.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it.
He and I will guard at one point.
Yeah. Then I'll be like, oh, she knocked me out and took all the money.
Does this seem equitable to you?
Yeah.
The question is, yeah, your point about we got to frame the red sashes for the robbery
Yeah, we got to make it.
and the crows, and I think to do that like.
Well,
They're actually like they are getting the money, so we could just go over to those.
Yeah, we did tell them make sure that people don't know we're helping you.
Right.
Well,
Well,
because
what
that
I
would make
was
them look weak.
Yeah.
what I was
And
thinking of doing is like taking a bunch of those like red sash bravos out carousing. Be very free, and they were spreading around the money. That like, oh man, we ripped off the Lamp Blacks.
Donkey?
Hooray for us!
Did the red sashes
This could
say
actually be part of downtime. Would be like, as one of the on the flip side of your player handout sheets. If you flip them over there, nope, not your character sheets in the middle there. Player reference sheets. There you go. These are your downtime actions. You'll notice one of them is reduce heat. And so, if you guys steal this money, all the heat is on you.
Yeah.
Your actions to reduce heat will be spreading these rumors that it was the other two
Right.
things.
Right.
So, at this point, mechanically, we're moving from the score, which is now
Right.
essentially finished, into this downtime section.
Maybe we
Ouch.
choose our friends to sort of
Yeah.
disseminate the
Information broker. Yeah.
So we sort of change gears here mechanically, and then I have some quick bookkeeping to do,
Okay.
and then we can go into the actual planning of the downtime and blaming the crows and the red sashes for this.
And we also need to figure out what our next step is, because
Okay, so we get our stress back. Is that?
Not so quickly.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get.
So
murdered
the
by
first
that.
thing is, you guys earn. So, as a crew, you would your crew, whatever you're deciding to call yourselves, the four of you,
we were called at one point rascals.
rascals.
The rascals.
That's a terrible name.
I know
you,
it's
the
terrible.
little
you guys
rascals.
earn 2 reputation for having
What do I put
for
that?
basically working with. There's not a place for it. It's on a different sheet, which you do not have. I'm just telling you mechanically that you guys are gaining this. You normally would also gain additional rep for you'd also gain additional rep for them being a higher tier than you, since basically you have pulled off some shenanigans against the the Lamp Blacks. And they are 2 tiers higher than you, so you would gain 2 additional. So 4 reputation for this. But if you keep the job completely quiet, you earn 0 rep instead. So if you want this to completely be down low, you guys as a gang would not gain any street cred.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So,
Does
for
reputation
now-
give us anything other than?
Uh,
No, I like the.
Right, I mean, it gives you guys the street cred to get better jobs and eventually make your name for yourself.
Because we have to decide that entirely as a crew, right? Like
Yeah.
either all of us get 4 or
Yeah, either the crew as a group gets 4, or you guys as a crew get nothing.
I vote 0.
And I think
I think for
0
the crew,
is appropriate.
0 is good because
We're still trying to play them.
we
Yeah,
can't.
because we've only
Yeah.
accomplished 1/3 of our goal. We have Bazo thinking the crows and the red sashes are working together, but we still have to make Malera think the crows and the Lamp Blacks are working together. We gotta make
Right.
Lysa think the red.
So what I'm thinking.
We started that one.
What I'm trying to remember, like as a player, is were we told that the sashes can't be known to be the ones that stole this, or no?
No, she never said.
No.
Right, it was just steal it and
Yeah.
bring it back to me, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, it was don't make it obvious that there was an unsaid don't make it obvious that we did this.
right.
Because if we could just be obviously do it, we would do it.
Well, there's
So-
an easy way around that. Go around to people and go, look, whatever you might have heard, it definitely wasn't the red sashes, right? And that
Well-
way, if she says, What happened? He said, we told people it wasn't the red
We
sashes.
told them over and over again, very loudly, it was not the red sashes. So the next mechanical part is you guys get paid.
Okay.
Everybody gets one coin. You get a total of 4 coins as the crew,
We all
but
divide
basically
it up.
each one of you get one.
Cool.
Basically paid by Bazo for you guys to sit and babysit his war chest. You haven't actually like taken it yet. You just have full access to it to take whenever you want. Then you guys gain heat. This is again as your whole crew. This is not like the police are after you or any one particular person is. It's just this is an abstraction that makes it more difficult to operate as in the criminal underworld while there's bad things that have been happening. So you take heat based on how well this score went off. This was a fairly is smooth and quiet low exposure or contained standard exposure. It was not wild and chaotically loud. So I'm thinking probably 1 heat somewhere between smooth and quiet and contained. Just not that bad. There was a little bit of stuff going on, but it was fairly low key. However, you add 2 heat if killing was involved.
Oh.
Multiple people died, so that's bad.
Gotta crack
2
a
extra
few
heat.
eggs.
So a total of 3 heat?
So a total of 3 heat, yes.
I wonder if we could actually...
So we get gang trouble at usual suspects.
So we're gonna actually roll on that. You roll
Oh.
2 dice and keep the lowest.
Okay, so
And
everybody does
any
it,
one
or-
person. I
Alright.
can roll
Wait,
for
what
you,
are
or
you
you
on?
can.
Oh, see,
So
entanglements.
entanglements. So you're gonna be on the 0 to 3 heat chart, and then you're gonna roll 2 dice and keep the lowest.
Before we, you said for a while we're guarding his
Yes.
treasure. How often does he come to make a withdrawal?
You know, maybe him personally or someone.
Or someone?
Probably every other day.
And I assume it's not like a large percentage of the overall amount.
Not really.
You know, we could actually make him think that the treasure's not been stolen. What if we gave half to Malera as promised, a quarter to Lissa,
As promised, and then just
and just keep the rest to keep paying out so he thinks he still has the money
until
it's such a point
it's
that
gone.
Yeah. It's
we
cool.
want to reveal.
Dang,
Kind of a slow drip.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That makes the most sense, actually.
Because that way we can bide our time.
So somebody needs to roll 2d6
Ooh,
and
for
keep the lowest
entanglements. Okay.
for your entanglements, because
Uh,
during this amount of time, this nebulous amount of time that you have divvied up the war chest and are slowly parceling it out, stuff is gonna happen.
Yeah. I'll roll.
So-
My looks are pretty good.
Sure.
Okay. Ooh.
so
luck
great
just
back
ran
time.
out. It was a 2.
So gang trouble or the usual suspects. So you guys do not have a gang, so that does not.
I know.
Amphibia.
Usual suspects.
What's that mean?
The
Someone
blue
gets
coats
busted.
grab someone on the periphery of your crew. One player volunteers a friend or vice purveyor as the person most likely to be taken. You may then make a fortune roll to find out if they resist questioning, or pay off the blue coats with 1 coin.
I think there'd be a likelihood that I might be nabbed since I have the down arrow on that Jaren guy.
Well, usually it's someone from the periphery of the crew, not actually
Oh,
one of you
okay.
guys.
I think Telda would be nabbed.
The
beggar.
urchin.
Oh,
beggar?
yeah.
Oh,
I
the
think
beggar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
incredibly logical. Number
Yeah.
1, my enemy is a blue coat.
Yeah.
Number
She
2,
gets busted
Telda
for
was
panhandling.
seen
Yeah.
in regards to all this. So,
Yep.
so what do I have to roll?
So you can either you can roll, or you can pay off the blue coats with 1 coin. So you have 1 coin. You can spend it to pay the bribes to get her released before she talks or before they interrogate her.
Okay.
If we pool our coins, we'd still have 3. I don't like the idea of her being interrogated.
I know. How do you think this baker's gonna hold up? Like,
If she rolls a 1, 2, or a 3, you gain 2 additional heat. If you roll a 4 or a 5, she doesn't talk, but she gets beat up. If she rolls a 6, then no problem.
If she talks, she's going to tell the blue coats that she helped plant, that she caused the distraction. She doesn't know what she caused the distraction
Yeah,
for.
all she knows is that she caused
So
a
she doesn't
distraction.
really
That's
know
a-
much.
No,
the whole
she doesn't
amount
know a
that-
whole lot.
For
Alright.
you.
But
Say we
it is,
chance it.
it's enough. It's enough that it would raise the heat level. Not enough to like tip anybody's hand that you guys are involved
I would
in
rather
this
chance
conspiracy.
it because going in and bribing the cops right now, I feel like is not something I
I
would.
don't like the idea of us paying coin when we just got our first coin.
Yeah, you just got your first money. Why would you pay that money off?
It's really not a greed thing so much as a I don't know.
Plus, we're going to have to spend a coin to hire a naming agency for the gangs.
Okay, so I roll 1 die.
Yes,
Okay.
you're gonna roll 1 die here for her.
Okay. So I
3.
rolled a 3.
So you get plus 2 heat.
ooh.
Okay,
Plus
so that means
for
we're
the
at
group.
5 heat.
Yep.
Oh man, which is that's max. Or not,
No.
Yeah,
No.
almost
No.
max.
Heat is completely different.
We're 4 heat.
You guys have 4 heat.
6
Six
is
six
wild,
plus
devastating.
is where things
Oh,
get
we're
really
only at
bad,
4
but
heat?
Oh, wait,
the you have 5 heat.
I thought we had 5 heat.
The thing is though, with heat you can have up to 9, and then you gain a wanted level, which is like a star in GTA.
Okay, so now we have to roll heat again.
No,
Okay.
no. So now we're at the downtime portion of the phase. You guys each have 2 downtime activities, which during this time you can pursue. Obviously, one of them you want to do is to reduce heat, and at the same time, like pin this on the other 2. So when you say how you reduce the heat, and you already made a very good one where you go carousing with some of the red sashes and very loudly proclaim that they stole this money, which will then take heat away from your crew and put it onto their crew.
Except now our whole plan is for nobody to know that the money was stolen, wasn't it?
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I think we should exit that part because we want we want to heat up the gang war.
I want to
Yeah.
engage Vice
If we're
so I can
heating up
take
the
away
gang
stress.
war, then we need
That
to
you
stick
can
with the
definitely
original
do.
I'm
betrayal
gonna call
plan
up
then.
Nurix, the
Yeah.
prostitute.
Go hit up the whores.
Which means you can't be the one carousing with them. Because you got blackjacked to steal the money. I have to be the one carousing.
Unless you go carousing with the crows. Oh, but you were friends. You got hit off the Lara, so.
I hit off with the crows too.
So,
you get both teams.
well, I have an idea for reducing the heat with the crows.
Um,
You said we each get to do, right?
You each get to do 2 things. Yes.
What I would like to do, because here's my idea. Basically, we go with the original, like I steal the money plan. I bring some to the crows. I bring some to the red sashes, and then I try to join either of them. It really doesn't matter which of the 2 I join.
We should keep a quarter of it for ourselves.
Well, yeah.
Right, obviously. So, Sarah, you were saying you wanted Dahlia to go and meet with Nurix?
You said we can do 2 actions?
Yeah.
So could I just do that twice?
Well, do it once and see
Okay.
what happens, and then you can do it again if you need to. So when you reduce stress, you look at your resistances. So on the other side, no, I meant other side of the edge of the paper. There you go.
Yeah, right.
So insight, prowess, and resolve.
Okay.
Which of them do you have the least amount of dots in?
Insight.
How many do you have?
1.
Perfect. So you're gonna roll 1 die.
Okay.
Now you're doing it with your friend. So when you do things with your friend,
We're doing it.
then you get an extra die.
Okay. Awesome.
So you get to roll 2 dice.
Okay.
You keep the highest.
Okay. 5.
5. Brilliant. So that means that you are going to reduce your stress by 5.
Awesome.
Which is good.
Yeah, that takes me back to
And if I'm not carousing, I'm gonna try to acquire
Right,
an
then I don't need
asset.
to do
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Cool.
Stress reduced.
So, if
Sorry.
can I
I'm very
roll?
mature.
Would you like to also reduce stress?
Yes, and I was thinking that I can put indulging my vice as part of the whole thing that I'm doing.
Yes. If you want to do that, it will mechanically use both of your actions, even though you're doing one thing.
Okay.
So if you want to double dip and do a thing that is both indulging your vice and also reducing heat,
Yes.
then yes, you can do that, and it will just it'll just mean that it uses both of your downtime actions, even though it's one action.
What
or
I'd
one
like to
thing.
do is have a meal with both Alyssa and what is her name? Malera
Okay.
at the same time.
With both Lissa and Malera at the same time. Ooh, okay.
Because they appreciate so many of the same things. And
And this is
The finer
also
things.
if they're seen together at a restaurant. Gotcha.
Exactly. So I
Brilliant.
and I know that they have more. I can introduce them because I believe that they have more in common than they have different from each other.
All right.
And I like both of their organizations very much.
Brilliant. So yeah, whichever one of those you want to roll first.
So how do I do this? It's whatever my lowest,
Whatever your lowest resistance is. So
which is resolve, which I have nothing in.
okay, you're gonna roll 2 dice and keep the lowest. Normally,
Okay.
So neither one of these people are your friends, so you're not getting a bonus there. So you're gonna roll 2 dice and keep the lowest,
Okay.
and then just clear that much stress.
Okay. 2, which actually drops me below my lowest stress, which I think has something to do with.
Oh, did you only have 1 stress?
I only have 1 stress.
Wow. Well, you didn't need to indulge your vice then, if you.
I mean, she likes indulging.
I mean, that's true. Okay, brilliant. So you're gonna overindulge, and you have 4 choices. You can attract trouble, which means that we will roll or select an additional entanglement. Brag about your exploits, gain 2 additional heat.
That would
Lost.
kind of be.
This character goes away, and you're gonna make a brand new character that you're gonna play instead. Or tapped, your current purveyor cuts you off, and you have to find a new source for your vice. So if you go to your favorite restaurant, which is where you normally go to indulge your decadence, and with these 2 crime bosses, you have a very pleasant dinner, and then the owner of the restaurant takes you aside and says, "Never come back here again."
Right. So what's a additional entanglement? What would that be?
So
Fall
our
in love with one of them.
no, it's gonna be one of the entanglements like we rolled earlier. Getting trouble, questioning, reprisals, unquiet undead, show of force.
Yeah, one of these.
Probably. I feel like it would probably be a show of force, with the blue coats coming and knocking on your door and being like, "Hey, guys, what's up?"
Like at my penthouse?
Yeah. You want the cops calling on you at
If you
home?
want that.
Okay. I mean,
Oh my
sure.
God,
It's gonna
okay.
be fun.
So your choice when this happens is that you either have to give them a claim or go to war with them. If you have no claims, you can lose 1 hold instead. You guys don't really have much hold as a gang. You're very new. This is not a very good thing to do.
What's giving them a claim?
A claim would be any kind of property that you guys have. Squiggle butt!
My dog.
Sorry, distraction.
Hopped up.
She hopped up. I thought she wanted up, but I
Hi,
can't.
cutie.
I think she does. Good dog. He's a good dog.
So basically bribing them with something ridiculous and extravagant.
To look, but
So you're gonna what?
I mean, considering that I'm with a noble, yeah, I think Rose will do the claim.
Okay. Yeah. As a gang, you guys don't really have very much as far as claims, but let's assume that one of those things that you found in the war chest is the deed to a property.
Yeah.
That you otherwise would have been able to assume ownership of, and instead you're just like, listen, guys, just take this gambling hall, call it your own, and we won't talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so that happens. But as far as reducing heat and getting these guys to be seen together, you roll. This is a consort, I think, because you guys are having a pleasant dinner together.
Okay.
So you roll an action roll that seems appropriate. Do you agree that you're consorting with these people having dinner together? Does that sound like what you've been doing, or am I mistaken?
No, I'm consorting with them. I don't have any ability in consort, but I can.
Cool. You're
certainly
gonna roll 2 dice and keep the lowest.
There's no way.
So
I
there's
could
no,
assist.
there's no consequence to
We're
this.
far away,
Even
yeah.
at the very worst, you're gonna reduce
I'm
the
with-
heat by 1.
Nice.
So, not
Four is
bad.
lower,
Four's
so-
still pretty good. So you're gonna reduce it by 2, which means that the heat is down to only 3.
Which is how bad?
It's not terrible. Cool. So that was
so
both
that's
of your downtime
reduced for the
actions.
whole.
The whole
group.
game. Yep. The whole gang. Then other downtime actions?
Okay, I have questions.
I have answers.
If you don't do anything, do you recuperate stress
No.
during downtime? Okay.
If you do not specifically indulge your vice, you do not recuperate stress.
And what happens when you are full? You're stressed out totally.
If you're stressed out completely, you gain a trauma, which
Okay.
are the
when you get
things-
4 traumas, you're dead.
when you get 4 dramas, you're not necessarily dead, but you're no longer able to live the life of a scoundrel. You can no longer go
So
on.
sad.
You can no longer go on daring adventures and shoot people with guns. I mean, you can own a shop and still shoot people with guns, I guess. But
Okay.
Why do that?
So you.
I
could,
chose
get
obligation
rewarded.
as my vice, wanting to steal from the rich and give to the poor. So how would I indulge that in my downtime?
So that is describe yourself giving money to poor people.
Okay.
It's when you're doing it without spending a coin, you're not giving enough money that it's actually breaking your bank.
Okay.
You're giving enough money that the poor people are very happy.
Could it also be
but-
like giving advice to people who want to try to pull thefts on legitimate, like the government and stuff?
Yeah, if you want, now I'm picturing you hosting like Tony Robbins classes, in I can teach you how to.
Let me awaken the giant within you to take down the empire.
Yes. Oh God, it's brilliant. I love it.
Seems sneaky Pete.
All right, so I'm gonna use indulge my vice. What do I roll for that?
That's kinda
So
what you
your
are, the
lowest
Yeah.
of your
I'm not
attribute
doing
of your
Prowess, I have nothing.
prowess, you have nothing. So you're gonna roll 2 dice and keep the lowest.
Okay. 2.
2. Okay, so reduce your stress by 2.
All right. The other thing I would like to do is I would like to try to recruit a thingamabobber, an acquire asset.
Ah, yes, acquire asset is very powerful.
So
What asset would you like to have?
I would like to acquire somebody within the crows,
Ooh.
a snitch, an informant within the crows.
Ooh, okay. Brilliant. How would you like to do this?
I would like to use my contact, Celia, to find out if he's heard of anybody in the crows who's sort of in middle management who got passed over for promotion and is maybe not satisfied with it, especially doesn't like the fact that our good buddy Roderick was bumped off.
Yeah.
Poisoned, probably.
Belden, maybe.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if
So-
it's Belton, but
Oh.
So, normally you would roll the cruise tier. You guys are actually tier 0. As a gang, you are nobodies. You are 4
Woohoo.
dudes off the street. But with your friend Celia helping, you're going to get an extra die. So
Okay.
you are up from 0 to 1, so roll 1 die.
come on,
And-
6. I could get a fine.
That would be pretty good.
6.
6!
Oh,
Nice!
yes.
They
As long as you roll
are...
6s.
They're pretty high up in the Crows organization. If you want to spend a coin, you can bump that up to a crit exceptional to your tier +2, which basically will put them as like a sub-lieutenant in the organization, like as high as you can be without being a decision maker.
What else might I
You
use
can
my
have
coin
my
for?
coin.
I mean, if you want to, things that you can use coins for, buying additional downtime actions,
Right.
bumping up the results of whatever you do here,
Right.
or um, paying off entanglements, and also putting money away in your stash, which is basically like moving towards retirement. And
if
also,
we're gonna pull
like-
this off, we're gonna have lots of coin. I'm gonna spend that coin.
Yeah.
Critical that.
Cool.
Did we get Belden?
Sure.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Crow.
Ooh, man on the inside.
Nice work.
Thank you, Mr. Die. You've rolled 2 6s.
That's your favorite one. All right.
So
yeah.
now I'm making
So-
buddy with the boss, and you're making buddy with the second in command.
Yeah.
And for all they know, I hate you guys.
Exactly. It's brilliant. And for all, yeah, it's perfect. And for, God, you guys are sowing some deception. It's beautiful. So you still have both of your downtime actions?
Yeah, I was gonna try acquiring an asset. I want to get like an arms dealer who can give me like some explosives and heavier weaponry.
Sweet.
Because
Yeah.
I think this great plan is gonna fall apart soon. It's gonna.
Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna just come down to some.
We
Look,
have to have a lot of backups.
yeah,
Yes.
look, I seen Fistful of Dollars. I know how it ends. Like, so let's get some
yeah.
guns or armor
Demolition.
or explosives. Yeah. So I've read Red Harvest.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I've seen too many episodes of Leverage,
so
so I'm getting
once-
cocky.
So once again, you're gonna roll your cruise tier, which is 0. So 2 dice. Keep the lowest. Now,
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna tell you could have a friend help you, and then only have to roll 1 die. But you know,
Okay, well I got a 3. So,
3s. Inferior quality. He's not very good.
oh, that's all right.
So your tier is 0, and this guy's tier -1. If you don't do anything, this is like a crackpot that is making
He's like a conspiracy
explosives.
theorist.
He's like making explosives out of pigeon poop, and he is a conspiracy theorist.
Do they sometimes work?
I mean,
I mean,
kind of like
Do
that.
they
We got like the
explode?
Only
gang.
when he accidentally collects back guano instead.
We got like a gang who
like
couldn't
that.
shoot straight kind of thing going. But
yeah, he's not very good.
despite that, I'm gonna spend the coin to bump it up. So
Okay.
we can be some sort of good. So coin gone. well.
So yeah, he's sort of
Wait,
good.
before you do that,
Oh.
would it be more worthwhile not to spend the coin and just to do it again and see if you get a better roll?
I mean, you could also do that, and then you would just have this really crappy demolitions expert.
Yeah.
Well,
Fall
no,
on
just
the
forget
table.
about that guy and do it again, and you
Yeah,
might roll.
I mean,
you might roll
could potentially
higher.
do that if you
Yeah.
want to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You see what I'm getting?
Yeah,
at?
let's try it. And then if that doesn't
Okay.
work, I'll still
You
spend the
just-
coin.
yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So roll 2, take the lowest.
That means
yeah.
you're not going to get a second thing.
Okay. Well,
Shit.
guess what? It was even worse. It's
Oh.
a 2. I mean,
It's
the same thing.
the same.
Oh.
All right, so spend
I'm
that
sorry I
coin.
talked you into that.
So I like leave the kooky demo guy's store, come back, and then leave again.
This is my brother. He's kooky too.
Can I ask a quick
Joe.
question? Under the brag about exploits, it says +2 heat. Is that for the whole group, or would that have
Yes,
just
the
been for
whole
okay.
group.
I have a
Okay,
question
so
about train. Oh, I'm so sorry.
oh, mhm.
Yeah, I love your
I'll
question.
finish her.
Oh, all right. So I bumped it up, spent the coin.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just like like the guy in Taxi Driver who just pulls up and sells a bunch of guns and explosives and stuff?
Yeah, he's got things for you. They're just not very good things.
All right, well, I mean, I
They're all in
was,
metric.
yeah.
They're decent. Like if you had someone in your crew who was a leech who makes explosives, they would be about that good.
Okay.
You don't have access to a lot of really good supplies though, so you're making stuff.
Yeah, I'll just
you
make
know,
do. All right. Well, in case we need
It's
stuff, he's
make and
got
do.
me. He's got my back. So
It's
we can-
very MacGyver.
All right, cool. So I can just buy like basic weapons and explosives. All right.
As far as XP for training, like how does that work? Do you add dots? No. I don't know. I guess I'm
So
not really sure.
so XP are those little like kind of daggers up above your thing. You would add 1 to whichever one you wanted to get in. If you
And how does that translate to the?
So if you get 6 of them, you fill up the whole thing. Then you get to put a dot into anything under that category. So, for example, if you train in prowess, when you fill that up, then you can put a dot into prowl or.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So,
Okay, I'm
so
just gonna do that with my other.
training is a solid option.
Yeah, well,
Perfect.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to.
It's good. We reduced the heat. We got a asset.
Yeah, what are we at?
What's
3
heat at
heat
now?
now? Or
3.
did-
Yes, you guys are at 3 heat now.
Nice.
So you've got your demolitions expert. You've got Belden, pretty much. If not, he's not on your. He's not joining your
So he's
gang,
not
but
outside
he's
your
on your
fire.
side for the
Yeah,
next
the arm explosives expert.
next step of the operation. So what was your next big move?
Good question. I wanted to talk it over with everybody.
I know this.
So we
Seat of
cut
our
to
pants
you
kinda.
guys like all together in your
Got a big board.
your yes. There's a board
Oh, you know
and
it.
there's like
Corkboard.
pictures. Yeah, there's
I would
stuff
have had to
tied
have
to
Yarn
it.
going around,
Yep.
connecting them all.
I would have had to have snuck over to you guys.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, you
That's true.
manage it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. Do I have a red sash by now?
Maybe.
I don't know if I'm more associated with them or with the crows at this point.
Maybe. Which one do you want to be associated with?
I mean, they're both good.
They are both good, considering that you have you already have an in with the crows. It might make sense to go with the red sashes. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the red sashes. So I show up wearing a red sash. Weighted.
of
Preach.
course,
All right.
and
So
I'm sure that you've murdered someone for that.
so by now Bazo must know that he's been robbed
Sure.
he thinks that she.
The red sashes did it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been walking around town wearing
Well,
it.
and that the crow. Oh, that's something.
I'm showing off my black eye, being like,
Uh-huh.
the red sashes did it.
Yep.
All right. So Bazo thinks the crows and the red sashes are teaming up against him. We suggested to Alyssa that the sashes and the blacks, the red and the black, were teaming up, but we have no. We did curry good favor with her by bringing her a quarter of the war chest. Wait, if we got a quarter of the war chest, was that counted towards our score, or was that just
No, it was not, because you were going to
Okay.
get that money when you actually implemented plan,
Okay.
blame everything on everybody else.
Right.
Which is, I think we're in the middle of that.
Which I think
Yeah.
this is the beginning of that plan.
Yes.
Once everything has like resolved, then you guys actually have that money.
Okay.
Right.
How do we get
Although I did take a deed out of it already.
Malera to think the crows and the lampblacks are going to team up against her?
That is the question, isn't
What
it?
is our end goal? To take over ourselves?
Well, to get them all fighting and then to step in,
Yeah,
either
let's just like
to take over
just
or
want
to
the whole
say,
thing,
hey,
all three.
we'll manage this for you so this doesn't happen. This is bad for business. We'll create a little council. We'll charge you a modest 5% management fee
and
to
we'll
make
run the
sure
whole
if
neighborhood.
you ever have any disputes, we'll be a neutral party.
Well, let's
You get
like,
yourselves installed as the ward boss.
is
here.
it is there like an all out gang war yet, or is it
Between the red sashes and the lampblacks, yes.
okay? So
the
we got to draw the
crows-
crows in.
The crows have been neutral. They've kind of been like a step back. They're dealing with their own bullshit, and
Alright,
they
we gotta
don't
draw
really
'em in.
want to.
We
Well,
gotta
I
get-
think that we want half of the crows fighting one way and half of the crows
Yeah.
fighting the other way.
you want to like
I'm working on the top brass as far as getting them to join the red sashes. I think that they have a lot in common.
So perhaps we can get what's his face
So
Belden
you
to
guys
go
are going to
against
work on
the-
Belden to get him to join forces with the Lampblacks.
Yeah.
Well,
What if
Because
we?
we've already got them aligned as per
Wait,
dinner.
but why would Malera right now think the Crows and the Lampblacks are teaming up? She wouldn't.
Well, maybe.
That's why what you've got to do is get the Crows and the Lampblacks to team up
With Belden.
Right.
with Belden.
Right.
That was and
Yeah.
then
That'll
be
work,
like,
yeah.
hey, this is what's happening.
Right.
The main thing is for this plan to really work.
Right, and we can sorry,
Yes.
but we can do that. We can convince Belden that's a good idea because. Okay, so have I been able to feel out whether Belden likes Lissa or not?
During this time, sure, I'll say that you have. He does not.
Okay. We know that Lissa was seen in public with Malera.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
a true fact.
Belden may think they're starting to team up and say, hey, Belden, see your new boss, see what she's doing? She's making another power move. Time for you to make a move and join with the Lampblacks.
You're a known associate of mine. We need to fight in public.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Fake a fight.
Should be a
Wow.
not a physical fight. Because that would be, I'm not known for physical fighting. So it should be like
Can't
a
damage your
verbal
pretty face.
spat or something.
Or you can pull a gun on me. I can't dodge bullets.
I would, but you see, my guy doesn't do that. He doesn't shoot. He's a,
The thinker.
he doesn't, he
But
rarely
if
pulls a
it's for
gun.
show, I mean, would the common spectators know
Yeah,
that?
because you could say, you don't pull guns on people and say, I'd make an exception for somebody betraying like you. Yeah.
Just like fire a blank at her, she runs away.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Smart.
Brilliant.
Smart.
So this is deception. Get the Crows and the Lampblacks talking to each other.
Right, because I can
start
say-
a Crow Civil War.
Yeah, because I can say to the exactly. Because I can say to Belden, I say, see, my one of my associates has gone over to this Sasha. See, this is Malera and Lissa. She had just met with both. She met with both of them, and she's acting as the go-between them. You got to move now, Belden.
Gotcha.
Go talk to, and I can and my buddy here, the Gray, can set up a meeting with Bazo.
Awesome.
And by the way, Lissa stole war chest from Bazo and didn't even cut you in. Didn't even tell you about it.
What? All right.
Yeah.
This sounds like we're moving into score territory, which means that we're going to do a quick engagement roll. So your goal here, just so I'm clear, is to get Belden and Bazo to team up. Is
To
that
start
correct?
talking and split off half the crows.
Okay.
To basically split the crows apart.
So step one is to talk to Belden. Now, is this where you stage your fight and Belden is like witnessing it?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's where the action starts. Is you guys doing your kind of fake fight, and Belden whether or not he believes you on this. So this is a deception plan. The detail is obviously her fake betrayal. And so this is a pretty bold and daring. It's not very complicated.
I'm gonna
I
swear at
think
her
this is a
in
particular Hadrathi.
no Scotland.
Oh, Scotland. Yes, right. Of course.
Could I assist with that by trying to sway?
Probably eventually.
Oh yeah.
As far as your first setup, though, here.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
That's a good idea.
Just gonna help here. I think that evens out. Okay, this is actually pretty good. You got 3 dice. I rolled a 4 as your highest die, so that is meaning you guys are starting off in a risky position. So as you roll in implementing this plan, you
Belden's got a gun.
you can see that Belden has his own gun. So as you begin this like whole choreographed fight, Belden pulls out his gun
That round.
and levels it at you as well.
I'll say no. This, my friend, this is my mess to clean up. I'm going to try to use command.
Yeah, roll that.
So 2 dice?
That's how many dots you have. That's how many dice you
Yeah.
roll. Pretty simple.
2. Exactly.
Oof.
They're both 2. That's not good.
Oh no, this is bad.
You're gonna get
This is
shot.
real bad.
So things go badly. You suffer harm. A complication occurs. You end up in a desperate position, or you lose this opportunity.
Oh, damn it.
Oof.
I am.
Just kill
Iron
Belden. Like,
That is my plan is to jump Belden.
No, don't, because he's a... Oh,
Too
jump him.
late.
Don't kill him, though.
oh.
I
No,
gotta
he's gotta die,
use
right?
I gotta use a thing here.
We gotta kill him.
A,
Frame it on the
foresight.
Foresight helps other people.
Right, so I'm gonna help her.
Oh, okay. Well, first let's see what happens here.
Okay.
So the two of you begin your choreographed
Yeah.
fight. You have pulled out your gun and you're like, oh, you never pull
No, I
guns
think we're
on
not
people,
even-
and then you're like, I will make an exception for
Yeah, see,
you.
we're somewhere else doing some
Belden
other
pulls
crazy
his gun,
thing.
points it at her as well, and you're like, no, friend, stand down.
And that's when things go.
That is when things go from bad to worse. I think.
Maybe some other red sashes show up.
Gangs of New York.
That is definitely a good idea. You end up in a desperate position as 2 more red sashes come out to flank with 6-0 because obviously
Yeah.
they're together now, and so it goes. So now it's like 3 on 4 or
Okay.
5. Like, are you 2 there? I guess I should.
Okay,
ask.
wait.
You
I
can be
got
there.
Sure.
I got an idea.
Yes.
I'm gonna come around the corner with a bunch of lamp blacks, who because I'm still with them. We're just going out carousing. We bump into this situation, and then it turns into it escalates
I'd like
into a
to.
full out gang war.
I'd like to do a flashback. Well, that's a
Yeah.
bad idea
I'm like,
because that's gonna
expeditious
blow up,
retreating.
right?
Just kidding.
Hey, the
Well, I
city's
think that was the point.
yeah.
Yeah, isn't the whole point that
It
it's
is,
gonna blow
but
up?
not in a big shooting in the middle of. Well, we are in public, so nobody's
Yeah.
probably gonna shoot. Hopefully.
Yeah. No.
No, it's
All right.
yeah, it's time. Like
All right.
we've blackmailed and we've you have weaved your delicate web of betrayal. Now let's.
I was
let's
actually
start
gonna
the
holster
fires.
my
Yeah,
gun.
don't let us stupid people fight.
Say, Belton, look, we're outnumbered. We should retreat.
Ah.
But if you want to go that way,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Belden,
mean-
look, we need to retreat, and then you turn around and there's these the lamp blacks, and you can be like, good, our new friends.
yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Brilliant.
Put-
So
yeah.
this is desperate though. Belden is like looking around like, what the fuck is going on? He's not sure who to shoot, whether
Right.
it's
I imagine I would.
the lamp blacks, the red sashes, or you guys.
Or me.
So he's kind of panicking at this time. He still has his gun out, and he's got it kind of trained on 6-0, but he keeps like looking around like.
I'm gonna say this to him. I'm gonna whisper and say, "Look, I'm trying another command here." Say, "Look, Belton. Someday you're gonna be running the new gang that combines the crows and lampbacks. When you're in charge, one of the things you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to know when to keep a calm head."
Are you being honest?
Well,
Ooh.
I wish you'd give that
Oh,
command
yeah, are
to
you
me
being honest?
because
That's a good
it's
question.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
I mean, half honest.
I mean, yeah, your plan is to
Yeah.
prop up a puppet,
Yeah.
so it's accurate.
all right. Well, I think you can do whatever you want to Belden. I think it's gang war time between lamp blacks and red sash, and I'm gonna take part in it. I mean, they were
sure.
already fighting, but let's heat up their war
so-
even more.
Lamp
Oh, dear.
blacks.
You realize we might all get shot.
They have
Look.
a 4 o'clock and
I'm
red.
hoping it's one of these things where everybody's guns are drawn and everybody
Sashes.
just kind of.
No.
They have
Running my
Yeah.
trance powder.
To quote Dashiell Hammett, I've gone blood simple. I've been sucked into this crazy network of betrayal, and now all I can see is red, and
So-
murder is the only answer.
So if you want to go ahead and roll your command to get this guy under control, we'll see if he is going to follow your lead or fall in with this fight.
6!
Yeah. All right. Cool. So in that case, yeah, he's gonna like nod and like holster his gun as this fight bursts out between the lamp blacks and the red sashes.
We'll be trying
Yeah,
to,
I'm gonna
like,
start
I'm
shooting
just
at the
easing
slip
back.
sashes.
slip
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah, you guys can not fairly easily, but relatively easily slip away.
Thank God.
You're gonna need to make a roll for it, but unless you fuck up, you should be fine.
I'm gonna
Um,
prowl away.
Yeah, prowl sounds good.
Yeah.
This sounds like a group action between the two of you to just slip away.
Alright, well, I'm gonna be in the middle of the fight.
Alright,
I just
roll.
try not to hit her.
Prowl?
She's trying not to hit
I don't
me
have it.
as we're
I know.
2 dice to
opposite
close.
sides.
Okay.
Just killing the other underlings.
5
Three,
is my lowest of the two.
Three.
Thank goodness he was helping you because the two of you managed to get away. With there is only a small complication of everybody sees you and you're gonna get extra heat for this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're rolling. You're gonna hunt these guys or skirmish with them.
Skirmish.
Don't
Yeah,
shoot
maybe it's
each
a
other.
skirmish, just a
Okay.
street fight. Just
Street fight with them. Sure.
Dude,
You
Alright,
know
so-
what though is if they both die, that's a bigger.
is it
tab
the lower or the
for
highest?
So if you
I've already
do you have
like
0,
just
No,
loyal
he has
to my
2,
old-
so it's
Yeah.
not
The
the
highest.
highest.
Okay,
what?
good. A
I'm
4.
already like totally backstabbing my oldest friend.
I'm very loyal to 6-0. She killed the people who killed my family.
Are we,
I don't
were we
want
in
to-
So
desperate?
on-
or?
you are in a risky. So it's risky.
Alright.
No, it was desperate.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are in a desperate position.
She
So
did something I
also,
couldn't do.
you guys both rolled while in a desperate position.
Yes.
So you both need to have the opportunity to tick one of the little XP boxes above in prowess
Okay.
because you made a roll under that
Cool.
and it was desperate.
This game rewards you for risk.
That is correct.
Okay, well,
But you do get the complication of extra heat, but you get away. So but no harm. So it's not bad.
You get to shoot a bunch of people.
So I'm not a straight skirmish sort of fighter.
yeah, you wanna like sling into the shadows and escape as I'm
Mowing down.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
So
Wild
go
Bunch.
ahead
I
and
can, like,
roll.
assist with
You said you rolled a
4.
A 4.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so
complication.
you've got you are the lampblack shit. So the red sashes, you wind up taking out like half of them, but you are also hurt in the process.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it sells our story even better.
Serious harm. One of those weighted sashes comes out and just bangs you right in the head, and you are unconscious with a concussion.
Dang.
Now, remember, you can resist this. So you have 2 different ways that you can resist this.
I
One-
do have the tough as nails.
Is that one? Is that the
Special
one that
ability.
you chose
Yeah.
as your special ability?
So they're one less severe.
So that means that the penalties are less severe.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a level 1 harm, there's no effect. If you have level 2 harm, you only have lesser effect. And if you have a level 3 harm, instead of passing out, you have a concussion, but you are still up and moving around.
All right.
Most people would be put down by this, but you're like
Yeah.
just a little dizzy.
Okay, well I'll do that one then. So I'm at
now-
2 harm.
So it's still a level 3 harm,
Okay.
but you just treat it as if it was a level 2 harm.
Right.
You can still resist this by rolling a prowess.
Yeah, I'll try and resist then.
Okay, so do you have any dots in prowess?
I want to fight.
Prowess? Where is Oh, here it is. Yeah,
I think I'm
skirmish.
ready.
So you have one.
And you have rack.
And Rex, so 3.
So not the total number of dots, just the first line.
Okay.
So you have one. You have some skirmish and some scum wreck.
Yes, and
That
that's
gives
it.
you 2.
So I roll 2 dice.
Yes.
Knives.
Okay.
Oh, it's just the first one.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
2 4s.
So 2 4s. 4 is what you're gonna get. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So you take 2 stress.
Okay.
And so that will make it down to a level 2 harm, which you get to treat as a level 1 harm. Donked in the head.
Okay, got it.
Descriptive harm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Donked
got
is a technical
got a
term.
bad, bang, but
You
still up.
got
Not
a
bad.
goose egg. So
That's so
there's still
cool.
2 red sashes up. You're there. There's a gang of lampblacks with this guy.
Yes.
So what are you gonna do?
What I'm gonna try to do is I am going to bamf
Okay,
because my God, I've got Ghost Veil and I want to use it.
please do.
What do you have?
I don't know. It sounds
Ghost
cool.
Veil is a
Sounds cool.
really cool power that she took that says you may shift partially into the ghost field, becoming shadowy
Wow.
and insubstantial for a few moments. Take 2 stress when you shift, plus 1 extra for each feature. It lasts a few minutes rather than a few moments. You are invisible rather than shadowy, or you may float through the air like a ghost.
So the basic idea is like somebody's trying to run me through or shoot me. I don't know which of the two.
Yeah.
I bamf into like the shadowy realm, which makes me insubstantial, which means I'm not taking additional harm beyond that. I think I'll take the extra stress to become invisible.
Okay.
Totally.
Worth it.
Then I'm
Sorry.
going to. Now, what I can't figure out is, can I affect people still, or
Not normally.
gotcha? So basically, what I'm going to do is get invisible, get behind one of them, and then be able to attack with prowess, or
Well-
attack with prowl
Yeah.
instead of skirmish.
Yes. Because you are sneaky, and then you basically come back into reality to
Like so it's
Yeah.
like bamf, and then I'm behind him, and I
do it.
Okay.
So yeah, you can roll prowl now.
okay.
You took your stress to set that all up, and you
Yeah.
are a badass. So go ahead and do it.
Okay.
You are still desperate though, because
Right.
you're surrounded. So there's other guys
That might.
that might still mess with you.
I got a 6.
Bam!
Whoa.
All right, you kill a couple of dudes with no problem.
Yeah. So I just appeared behind 2 of them, like because she
boom,
likes using
boom.
knives. She doesn't.
Can I
use
have
guns.
seen that and like appreciated it from a distance?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
And I looked straight at him, and I point like the bloody knife.
Cool.
Like, ugh. Brilliant.
So we like wiped out all the combatants
And then I
besides.
licked
No,
the
there's
blood
still
off of
there's
it.
still more up.
All right, let's
So
like.
they're gonna roll off against each other.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll 1 die for each of them.
I'm hoping hopefully they all die, and then we can like
Yeah. So between the 2 of them, they wind up killing each other. You two take out some of them, and the other ones kill each other until it's just the 2 of you standing there on the street.
So basically, I point the bloody knife at you and just kind of back off slowly.
Okay, and I point the guns at you, and then also back off slowly. Then we go back to our
And
separate.
the bells are tolling. Bong, bong,
Oh, so cool.
bong,
A lot of crows.
bong. The good news is when you guys take heat at the end of this, you don't take additional heat for however many people died. It's just if people died.
Yay! So many.
Oh
people.
yes,
Uh,
it was.
So, I just looked at the time,
Yeah, it is. Cool.
Oh dang, yeah.
and I realized it's like 9:45.
Oh,
I think this may be a good place to wrap her up.
call
Yeah.
it.
With the bloody.
Yeah, this nasty showdown.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it was cool.
Normally, you guys would move. We would, at the end of a session, we would wrap up into doing XP, which I can briefly talk about without really going into detail. But the nice thing about XP is that you guys give XP to yourself. I ask you these questions, and then you tell me if you've done them or not, and then you get XP based on that.
Oh.
So, for example, Hound. Did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
Violence, yes. Twice.
Multiple times, so you would take 2 XP.
Cool.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Not really. So no.
Okay. And did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas?
No, it didn't come up.
not
No
really.
dogfighting stuff.
So that's how that goes.
Yes.
As you move on, you learn more about your character's background, and more of that stuff is going to come up. And as you learn, as you gain traumas, then those traumas are going to start causing trouble, and then they're going to give you XP.
I feel like a lot of those questions I could have answered yes.
Oh yeah.
For sure. So as a lurk, you have slightly different questions.
Sure.
Did you address a challenge with stealth or evasion?
Yes.
And you definitely did. Multiple times even.
Yes.
And did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? You actually did that.
Yes, I did.
I don't know if you had any issues that you didn't struggle with your vice. It was actually kind of helpful for you here, but I
Yeah.
can definitely see where struggling with it would definitely come up
Well,
in
other
the
than
future.
the fact that I overindulged in it and brought the
You know, you did actually. That's a good point. I forgot entirely about that.
Yeah.
See, this is why you give yourself XP, because I forget stuff. So you would get an XP there as well, which is pretty good.
So that's 3 XP or
Let's see, that would have been actually 4.
cool.
And as a spider, did you address a challenge with preparation or calculation?
Yes.
All the time, every which way.
Like 3 or 4.
And did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Not especially. I mean,
I
maybe
mean,
a
your
little bit.
background is being a cop and
Yeah.
stuff. That kind of came up. So
little
I'm going to
bit.
say yes. And did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas?
No.
But you still would have gotten 3 XP, which is not bad, especially for a first session when you're first kind of feeling out your characters. And our slide, did you address a challenge with deception or influence?
Did I? In
Yes.
general, yes.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background came up into this? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Because your background was your whole connection to Baz
Underworld and like.
and that whole thing. That's how you guys got drawn into this whole mess. You didn't really struggle with your vice or traumas though.
I wouldn't say I struggled with it.
No, exactly. Brah, brah, brah.
Sorry.
So you would be getting 3 XP for that.
And you can put it wherever.
Yeah, you can put it in whatever section that you would want to put XP in. So it's pretty cool.
I would actually be putting some in resolve because I want to get up to having.
You want to get up to having some resolve?
Yeah.
I know I have 0 insight or 1 insight, so that's what I was.
Well, I would think sway is probably what's logical considering
I
what
want
she's
sway.
doing
I
right
would have
now.
taken sway.
Yeah.
So she needs 2 more
Eventually.
XP to eventually get some sway.
So that's how Blades in the Dark goes. It gets more weird as time goes on.
Yeah, nothing really supernatural showed up this time.
Not really.
Right, yeah.
There definitely were places where it could have. You guys could have pursued going and talking to Rorik as like a way, as an in. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Could have been cool.
Maybe just say like a huge thank you to Kelsa here
Yeah.
for doing this for us.
Thank you.
This is so cool. Or maybe if we're really sweet to her, maybe she'll come back and do it again.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes.
I love playing this game, and this has been a lot of fun. You guys are
Yay.
a great group to work
Oh, thank
with.
you.
So
High five us,
Yeah.
which sounds like clapping.
We never did come
Yes.
up with a name though.
yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta
we never
come
came
up
up with a
with
name
gotta
for
come
the
up with a
group.
name for
For
next
the
time.
group?
Time.
Right?
Crime
Talk
time.
about that. And then we'll try and convince her to come back and do another one sometime in the future.
Nothing like people telling me how
The
to
only
I'm
do
going
it.
to keep all my
Yeah.
notes with the expectation that
Sure.
this group will reconvene at some point.
Well,
Go right ahead.
if anybody's watching and we watch in VOD and everything, we do all of our followers we count. Doesn't matter if you're active or anything, just follow and we'll send you some cool stuff. We just sent our a package out to somebody last week, and we are about 15 away from sending out another one. So thanks, Arc Knight. That's awesome. But thank you so much, Kelsa, and hopefully we'll just keep rolling Blades in the Dark. This is really cool, and the books are freaking
Can
gorgeous.
we talk about the artwork?
yeah.
It's so good.
So I want to mention something just because John Harper is my hero. He not
So
only
cool.
wrote this amazing system, he also did like 90% of the artwork that's
Wow.
in that book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I need to pick this
Independently
book
wealthy
up.
or hustle time.
Is this like only through evilhat.com right now?
I picked my copy up at Great Escape Games,
right
but
on.
I pre-ordered it, and so you can go to any game store and order it if they don't have it, as well as ordering it directly through Evil Hat.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to pick this up. It's very cool.
I'm very excited. I have the special edition coming soon, which has additional more in-depth backgrounds about some of the other cities in the world and other really cool delving into the world that this takes place in. So I already have the PDF of it, so I know everything that's in there, but having it in my hot little fist is all I really wanted. It smells so good. It does. It really does.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And peace out.
Go
Everybody,
team.
peace out. We're going.
I'm supposed to